Hours left on what's turning into a nicely positive afternoon here. Remember, this time tomorrow, we're going to be getting the Fed minutes, minutes from the latest Fed meeting ahead of what's to come in December, the second week of December, the 12th, 13th, 14th. Get Fed meeting, get CPI. Going to be a busy week in general. Here's how things are shaping up as we head into the final 2 hours this afternoon. 1% right now for the S&P, about the same for all three, really. 0.9 there for the Dow, the NASDAQ. 0.95, still chopping around in positive territory. Nice day for the TSX here in Toronto, 1.2%, partially due to that. 2.4% for crude oil, 3% for Bitcoin, almost the same. 2.9 there for Ethereum. So bounce back across the board, green board, to show you here this afternoon. Led right now by the tech sector. We've had quite the bounce this morning after initial weakness from this group. Got bought up in a big way. It is the software names that are leading right now within the sector. Semis are all higher, not a single name in negative territory. Hardware group as well, also in positive territory. There's Best Buy, 11%. We're going to talk about that. DLTR downside being offset, though, by Best Buy. It was the reverse of that this morning when the market opened. Some of the retailers, consumer durables, also higher off of a nice earnings report as well, therefore, DLTR. Energy stocks, materials, both in positive territory here. You can see oil, nice rally back to the upside. Materials downside a little bit. Everything else, though, kind of chopping around. Banks have been strong all day long, worth noting, as we head towards tomorrow with those meeting minutes from the latest Fed decision. Everyone's going to be combing over that, looking for any kind of indication as to what is to come in the next couple of weeks here. Remember, next week we get GDP. Next week we get PCE from last month as well, which are both key data points that the Fed looks at as well. And non-farm payrolls coming up next Friday as well. So going to be a busy week next week, going to be even busier the week after. Welcome in. Let's get going. A number of interesting moves happening during the midday as well. We'll talk about DWAC. We'll talk about Coinbase making moves here. The two CEOs, Binance and Coinbase, going back and forth on Twitter, causing the stock to move around. Anyways, Sean is here. He's going to lead the way this afternoon. We'll have a look at not only this trade, but some of the other ones we were looking at this morning.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the Trade of the Day, and today brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you hit that QR code below and start your prop journey today with the best prop company in the world. Does that make sense? Trading company in the world. All right, let's do that. All right, quickly here. This is going to be a really easy one for me today. It's going to be AMD. And the thing about today and what I've been doing lately, and I hope that we can all learn from this because I know I have, and it's really helped me with risk management. It's helped me with share sizing. And that is to be, and you might know the word, starts with a P, ends in a T, be patient. For trading, and today that came through today pretty easily. I just want to indicate this area right here, that's 72. So when we look at AMD this morning, we actually waited for it to fall down, and you can see right now our first trade doesn't actually happen until about 9:45-ish. I wanted to also show, well, it's too bad here because the NASDAQ's a little bit cut off, but the NASDAQ today on the open was negative. It started to hover to the negative side and went down a little bit below. It was about 0.2, 0.3%. But the point of what I was getting at with AMD was I knew I wanted to be long somewhere near the 72 area. So instead of looking at the chart of AMD and saying, well, okay, in the pre-market, we have a nice little pre-market bottom here of 72.50, 72.30, whatever you want to do like that. You know, normally that would be a spot where I'd be like, okay, we've had a nice move up to 73.20 or so, a fall back down. Let's try to support this. But no, instead we sort of zoom out a little bit and then have a look down here, or up here, sorry, at a 20-minute chart. And this is going to go back a couple days, right? So as you can see, only one time did we trade below 72 and hung out there for a bit, right? That was on the morning. We got the CPI, then a big move to the upside here, creates it all the way to $75, $76 again. But right here, you're seeing AMD just hover around that $72 level. So it just gives me a little more confidence to say, hey, let's wait and wait for the market to make this move down, then we started to see some market barcoding. What I mean by that was there was a little bit of back and forth there near the bottom of the day. So we just like, let's go over to a name that we know has the opportunity to do this. Now, as I look back here, you're going to see my final out was actually taken when we broke the 50 period. But that's sort of the trading that I want to do. And it's fine that we were long at 72 and it's now at 75 and our best out is 73.15 or so. But look at the trade. It comes back down. We give ourselves a long there at about 72.20 or so. We're giving ourselves that 72 even. We're giving ourselves about 20 to 30 cents worth of risk. As it pops back up, my first outs are 20 to 30 cents. So we're already going 1-to-1 here. And we knew we wanted to let this thing go upside. So every out is just 20%. So if you have 500 shares, it's 100, 100, 100, 100, and 100. Then I sort of said, how can I let these trades grow? How can we see and capture this move to the upside? Well, I'm using this 50 period moving average. So that's actually the pink line. So as we blow up there, we start to get some out at the first level. So it's like, okay, we're up, we're in the money 30 cents. It's the same downside risk, 1-to-1. It looks like it's even better than 1-to-1 there. Upside move. Then we get the next piece out into the pre-market highs of 73, all right? Then it raises up again. Now we're literally at the top there and we're getting out at 73.20, 73.30. We're $1 in the money. Then as you can see, we let it continue to rise up. It actually goes about $1.50, $1.70 in the money. But we can't have these big winners if we keep getting out at every single key level on the upside. So what do? I use a 50 period as my out. It comes back in, it actually cracks that level, and we wind up getting out at about 73.15 or so before, of course, it just continuing to go up. So I see that we were pretty choppy here at the 50 period. I'm debating now maybe switching over. I mean, sure, it would have looked great here, but the 200 period might be better, or maybe we'll put 100. Either way, it's your trade of the day, and it's a one shot. It's in there, out, and if you have 1,000 shares there, you make that $1, that's your day. You know, you don't need to scalp trading. You could do multiple entries, multiple exits, one entry, multiple exits, and trade your way. But this was my trade, and it was a trade of the day.
And a great one. Back to the upside we go for not only AMD, but a lot of the chip makers today. We are dealing with a little bit of a pullback, however, right now as far as the overall market is concerned. Make sure you grab that every single day. That's the link to the watch list, guys. All you have to do is enter your email address, and you get that for free every day. Just appears in your inbox. Yeah, market downside here. I'm just watching DraftKings as well. There was another mention of this quote-unquote fraudulent activity. Some users suggesting that, remember yesterday we were talking about some money disappearing out of accounts. Apparently there's a lot of users that have already been reimbursed, but as late as this morning even, more people are reporting the same thing happening. So that's just coming out right now. So a little bit of volume here, downside for DraftKings once again, but yeah, the overall market pulling back a little bit here as well. Let's talk about a few things that were happening as we went throughout the midday there. DWAC, first of all, if you missed it, they extended the shareholder vote on the merger for another year, up to a year, before they have to actually come to an agreement on this. So DWAC caught a bit off of that. There's also this back and forth going on. It's very kind of entertaining, at least, to watch between the CEO of Coinbase and the CEO of Binance on Twitter. The CEO of Binance, just to sum it up, CEO of Binance came out and said the holdings, Coinbase's current Bitcoin holdings do not cover what they have exposure to. And then Coinbase came out and said, hey, we're a public company. You can see our records. Everything is public, so there's nothing to hide here. So at last check, they were still kind of going back and forth here. But downside right now anyways, for Coin, once again, still positive on the day. But that was the initial move when that tweet storm started. But anyways, some volatility. Let's cover Zoom here a little bit as well, because we were discussing it in the pre-market coming off that earnings report. That was, yeah, not the greatest, guys, as far as the report itself and the forecast specifically, but it's been a bit of a slow grind here back to the upside for Zoom.
Yeah, okay, Coinbase. I mean, Binance going after everybody at this point. Just get rid of all competition, any competition, and get going to the upside for them. But AMD, Coinbase, well, why am I bringing AMD up? because it was there on that list. No,
Oh, that's because I was doing AMD.
Yeah. Okay, going back to Coinbase, we were talking about Coinbase in quite the trend here, and I wasn't going to touch this unless we actually broke out of the trend. And they're still maintaining. This is the 30-minute chart, and if you were to kind of go down, the trend is still intact. So nothing happened today that's like, oh, this is really special. This kind of changes our look. It really doesn't. This is what the trend line looks like. Clearly, we probably will extend back towards that 40 level and to the downside. So that's one to watch. Zoom, on the other hand, this was one early morning opportunity. Wow. It was that 75 break. Remember, we kind of wedged it in here. Above 75, below 72, make a move. It did an opening flush. This is the 5-minute chart on that same look. Opening flush, moves up, goes right down to the bottom end of the range. And I think the second option for the long was right here when it actually broke around 11:30. I mean, if you were paying attention to it, at that point I was done. So if you had gotten that break the second time around through that 75, obviously now you're sitting $1.50 in the money. It's easy. But it's easier to catch the trade when it's actually making its move. It's tougher to catch it on a pullback now after the market's already extended as much as it has. So I would keep an eye on this 75 now through 74. So if we come back into the 75, find support, catch a bid, then we have a chance against the 74s, old resistance, now support, that kind of thing. So if we get that opportunity to catch a bounce that actually stabilizes with the market also being stable, then great. If not, come back to it again tomorrow. It made a move today, overnight. It's making a move now intraday. There's going to be more opportunities on Zoom at some point in the next tomorrow and then probably Friday as well if you're paying attention. So keep an eye on that 75 mark against 74 for potential longs.
Wow, AMD just continuing to march higher here as we just talked about that for our trade of the day. Wow, yeah, good move up for AMD right now, up to 74. We lost the feed. Did we lose the feed?
We lost camera.
We have a black screen now. Everybody's saying that. Are we back? Are we black? Are we black? Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. Are we back? Say hi. Bears versus Bulls, are we back? Okay, it's back. All right, it's back. All right, so let's just keep on going on that one. I was just talking about AMD. Randy pulled out the cord there. Nice
Apparently,
job,
Randy faded us to black.
Cheers, Randy. Randy picked up this round of drinks, so thank you for that.
Very nice.
I know you have the tea. Oh, you took your toque off? Randy. Okay. Okay, so let's go over Zoom right now quickly. I just was like, wow, AMD. All right, so we had Zoom on our sticky note this morning, and honestly, the same thing is going to be true for this. We missed this trade. I was looking, and you know what? Arun says a lot of good things on the show, but I feel like there's none better than your attitude towards missing trades. Because I think that's the key thing, right? I was waiting for Zoom to come into 72 here. It did, but I was a little lower. I was waiting at 71. I mean, I canceled my bid now because we went out to get coffee, but I was down here at 71.50, 71.60, something like that. Oh, you heard me say it on the morning show. I don't know if it was 71.70, I don't know what it was, but we missed it. It didn't come in and fill us. It went down to 71.95, which is the day's low, and then it's just up $6 from there. So to me, I missed the Zoom trade. I feel like, when you're looking at a 1-minute chart, just look, this is why I missed it. Whoops, I'm on this still. I don't need this ellipse. What happens in the morning is, and we said this too, it's very tough to figure out which way earnings names are going to print in the first 5 or 6 minutes. You can see here, let me zoom in just a little bit more on Zoom right there. Market opens up, Zoom is at 74. It goes all the way to 76.34. So you heard me reference share size and things like that. If you're going to put on like 20 or 30 shares, then maybe you can hold this against you $2 or $3. But then it comes all the way back down. So you go from 76.50 in basically this is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You're in about 15 minutes and you're all the way back down $5 lower. So this is a problem for prop traders like us that have risk tolerances and things like that, where we're unable to hold something too far against us, especially if you have a decent amount of shares. So for me, Zoom was a tough one today because I didn't want to get involved until I saw this level come through 71. This is on the daily chart. So, it came in. I honestly missed the trade by about 20 or 30 cents. So does it suck that happens? Yes. But in the long run, I think we're better off waiting for the right prices to come in at the right levels. So unfortunately, we did have Zoom here as a buy. I wrote it down right here. Appears to want to hold past support. We wrote it down on the sticky note. It's all over it. You can find me at Trader TV Sean. We had the right trade. We had everything, but the level I wrote down was 71.50. So we miss it by 40 cents. The day's low is 71.90. What can you do? I was waiting at 71.70. So, hey, we missed the trade by a little bit, but at least we had the right idea. And guess what? I'm back tomorrow.
That's the best part. Let's go on to the retail group. We'll get more. It's worth noting tonight, earnings in the retail group, that is. Here's Best Buy, though, holding up among the biggest ones we saw on the sector board there. Among the biggest ones, individual movers on the day, 10.8% right now for Best Buy. We talked about Best Buy earnings, the forecast. Lucas. There we go. Thanks. 10.7% for Best Buy. We talked about ANF. We talked about AEO. We'll get JWN. We'll get a few others coming up tonight. But retail, not bad heading into the holidays, guys.
Retail, been there, done that. Best Buy, $80, adding to that book of theirs.
Line.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that like they do a Black Friday week thing now, and that's just this week. And next week is Cyber Monday week.
Yep.
So there's gonna be a lot of electronics deals, and there's a lot from what I've seen so far in Best Buy, at least the multiple stores that I've been to. There's a lot of people in there, so there's a lot of money being spent. I get why Best Buy is having a good report, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see how they do to the Q4 report as well. And clearly, Best Buy moving strong. But the way it's been moving is quite different from the way the market's been moving, right? I mean, yes, Best Buy has its own reasons for moving like that, but it's been sold all the way up. It seems like all the way to 80, because we started off, that initial pop around 7 a.m. stalled at 77. And since we've gotten through that 77, it should have been an easy go all the way to 80, and all we're doing is go up to 79, back to 76, go up to 79 and 80, and now we're backing to 78. This is not as strong as I would expect it to be if you're going to be that strong in the pre-market. So this is showing some signs of weakness here. We'll see how this follows through tomorrow. If it's back through the 76 and into the 75s, there could be a nice short on Best Buy going on down. But this 76 through 77, that needs to hold up well. With this market also holding up, at that point, if you have that, then there's a potential trade on the long side. If not, I think shorts might be a way to go here on Best Buy south of 75. Beverly, I will get to your super chat there at the end once we've gone through the names that we have here.
All right. I just want to let everyone know, I see there's Bears versus Bulls and everybody else on the chat talking about Fed speak. Well, it's happening right now, I believe. Brennan is, we have the icon system, so it's like a Bloomberg terminal. So if there's any key highlights or anything like that come through, we have Brendan in our ear. We'll throw directly to him and get you any sort of news. But trust me, you're already on the right station here with us today, because we're going to cover everything for you. As soon as we hear something come through on everything, we're going to give it to you. And you're going to see the market move, right? The market's going to move first when this does happen. So just quickly here on Amazon, we actually have a trade on Amazon today, and it's not a horrible one. You're going to see we actually switched it up on Amazon a little bit. We were first going long. You talked about that. We wanted this long break of 94 earlier, but yeah, we're going to have to wait for that. That doesn't come through. But look where we just missed it. And again, I wasn't here. I was talking with Randy. We got a coffee. We talked about that. This little short, this was the ability to get out of the way. So we went long early on Amazon. We thought it was going to be good. But look at the first couple minutes. Amazon went from 93.50 all the way down to 90.50. So that goes down $3. We actually, again, just like AMD, we sat like a thief in the night right here, picked up some of those low bids. This is just from yesterday, so it doesn't even extend out the same as AMD. We picked that up. We got out pretty early because we were a little bit wondering about what was going on. One third, in the last bit, all the way at the top. Remember, that was a mistake. We actually meant to get out when it broke green, so we were pretty lucky there to get out. But either way, that's a $2 win again there. And then the name, Amazon, came right back up. And we were talking about this on the midday show. I was putting it in the chat. I was like, let's go Amazon, let's go, because we shorted it a lot up here at 93 and we're able to get the best out I have is 92.50. It did touch view up at 92.20 before coming back, made more damage again, and then got stopped out right there. We would have re-engaged it on the short, but I like retail to the short side, especially if you're talking about Amazon. Only up right now, 0.35, market up 0.8. So definitely weak relatively to the market.
Just keeping my eye on, it's Esther George is speaking right now. Just started when we came on, in fact, but it doesn't look like there's anything major yet. The market actually going right back towards the highs right now, so we'll keep an eye on that, but nothing that I can see as far as significant comments. If you missed it earlier, Meta was flying around on a tweet from theleak.com, who put out this entire article suggesting that Zuckerberg was going to resign at the beginning of next year. The communications officer for Meta came out very quickly on Twitter and said, nope, that is completely false. So that happened here. The initial move was down, and then they came out and said, no, that's false, and we got this rally. Back to highs. We're coming off the highs right now, but worth noting, we did go red to green on that initial move.
You look at the chart on Meta, and it's just, even with this news, it's not a great chart to trade. Like, especially you knowing that this week is a holiday week, holiday shortened week. Do you really want to trade a chart that's this messy? It's a tough one. Like, yeah, the drop went from 110 to 108.50 and then bounced right back into the congestion that's up here. So, I mean, now we can put a bottom in, or at least somewhere close to 108, but it needs to do a lot to set up on the buy side here. So Meta, although it's had some news and it's made its moves today, not much of a trade to be made, I don't think, at least from the chart. For everyone wondering what's going on with the position board, it's because my futures position is not on the board.
I'm still in BABA. I'm still in BABA.
Sean's got BABA, but
I know how to fix it.
He needs to refresh by sending another order out. And there you go. There's the update. You got Amazon too?
No, there we go.
Oh, there you go, BABA. So that's it. So my futures position is not on the board. So we'll just I can use this time to actually answer Beverly's question about why I chose to go long on the S&P. All right, so futures, we were looking for 75 on the top coming into the day. This is the 30-minute chart. It looks something like this. Coming to the day, I said, okay, if we get above 30 to 75, I'm looking for longs, see if we can get an extension above yesterday's high and potentially towards the 4K mark. We got that move early in the morning, so I guess before the market opened. Went for the long here around 75, 76. Put the stop at 55, and obviously we saw what happened right at the open when tech fell off, right? Obviously, timing of that did not help, but it fell off and bounced right back and did exactly what we needed, which was bounce off of support, and now here we are 4K. In terms of positions and exits, this is what my board looks like. We're long here, that's that entry. Exits in front of 90, another exit here in front of 95, and now I'm just carrying the rest and see if we can extend a little bit further. So that's what I'm working with. Of course, if we break down into the low 90s, I'm going to cut this trade and just move on from it. But that's what I was looking for. It was an extension above yesterday's high with some support down below in the mid 60s. We got everything that we needed. Tech kind of threw a wrench in the plan for a little bit there early on, but everything stabilized, and now here we are with a decent winner on our hands.
All right, so I like Meta down at $100, but I want to indicate you guys, we have to go off the board here a little bit. SoFi's at 52-week lows right now, so I am going to short SoFi here. This is the trade that I wait for. Look at SoFi; it's been an absolute dumpster fire. There's some controversy. I thought that I don't know what wasn't there talk, Brendan? I mean, and again, putting Brendan on the spot because we're not doing SoFi, but I think Congress or something was denying that relief package or whatever for debt. So student debt. So SoFi's definitely gotten clapped over the last little bit here, and we're down near the bottom. So I don't think there's any news today specifically on SoFi, but there's been a lot of pressure on these guys. And again, I don't know if the student debt relief is going through or not. You guys could probably tell me about that. I know it's, Look, anything, if SoFi was brought to the market by Chamath, then yeah, it is a pump and dump. I mean, there's so many stocks like that, Clover, Opendoor, and SoFi, if that's another one, it's another one. But I guess they had some investigations yesterday into crypto. There was our SoFi trade yesterday at $5 short. We were able to cash it out. It didn't do much in the afternoon. So I'm trying to take maybe a little more shares here than usual on this position, just because of the potential here of it barcoding again. But I like the move down. It's a break lower. It is not crypto-based, sorry. It is hitting the 52-week lows, so you will see me execute, but we have to break, right? So my whole thing on this is It has to break 477. The minute and again, we're hands off, right? What I have in now is called a conditional stop order. So it's not a stop order in the sense that it's going to stop me out of a trade. It's going to put me into a trade. So I've told the machine here to say, hey, if you ever see 476 here, right, to punch short. So this is not SSR. It shouldn't have been SSR from yesterday, so we look fine on that. What SSR means 10%. We have an indicator right there. It says no. So as soon as this says 476, the system's gonna fire out an order, get me short, and then at that point I'll deal with it. So I don't have to stare on this all day, but I do like SoFi breaking this level. And then after that, the rest is history. We'll see where we go. But just so you guys know, my stop is honestly, it's like 5 or 6 cents. It's just I want to use more shares and take less risk on the gross side of it. So on the per penny, that's what I mean by gross. So we have gross and net, just like your taxes. So that's what I mean by that. All right, and then quickly before, because I know Arun just talked about Meta, I'm gonna take the other side of that. I do, same side, but we have to wait for it to set up. I just like to set up here at 10. So Arun and I use different indicators. I like this VWAP down here at 110. I don't really care about that story too much until I hear that Mark Zuckerberg is actually gone. Then I'm not too worried about it. There'll be a successor. There'll be lots of stuff. He controls over 90% of the voting rights. So honestly, the amount of money that these guys have spent on the metaverse with little to no pullback to shareholders, then I feel like, although, look, you never want the visionary, the person that started the business, to leave, but Facebook is decades-old company at this point. It would be nice maybe to get some fresh blood in there with some new ideas. Their daily active users are still huge. I still believe in Meta, believe it or not. So I don't mind a Zuckerberg, a sort of a management change. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. We'll let the market tell us. But as far as actionable events, I think we'll be here for that.
Definitely. Both now, Bullard and Esther George speaking, guys, so heads up for Fed officials. The artistic camera work, courtesy of Fahad in the background. Let's go to Tesla here. It's been, I mean, it's up 0.13 right now. Tesla with not really any tradable moves today. I mean, maybe off that low, speaking of 52-week lows, guys. We did get there this morning. Tested it twice and bounced nicely for Tesla.
Tesla is one of those names where it's just like the, what was the other one we were looking at? It's just trending down. I think
Rivian.
No, the Rivian is, yeah, but it was another big name. Was it Meta? Meta was doing the exact same thing, right? The trend down?
Not
no,
so much.
it was, okay, there's another name we were talking about just earlier.
Maybe Coinbase. Coinbase at 52-week lows.
Yeah, it was probably Coinbase, where it's, this is where I drew the trend line.
Yeah.
It's just trending down, and they're just bouncing into the range there, or into the trend line, and that's essentially what you're getting on Tesla as well. You see the trend. This is not even a big chart. This is just a 30-minute chart, and you can easily see what's going on here, which is we start at 200, and we can, not perfectly, but still draw roughly a trend line, and we've still got some space to the up. Maybe we got $3-4 before we hit a trend line, but trend lines aren't perfect. That's fine, but just the general direction is this. So Tesla making its moves inside of 170. This is one of those things where Tesla used to move a lot, and it still has the capability to move a lot, but when it's moving like this, there's not really a whole lot you can do with this, right? Above 170 into the 172s, you can be like, oh, you know what's trending down, I can go for a short. Or a failed break through the low here at 166, you can be like, oh, failed break, maybe I can go for a long. But if it's sitting here at between 170 and 168, you really can't do a whole lot. And for the most part, Tesla's been between that 168 and 170. So it's a tough one. At some point, trade will open up again, as somebody was saying cheekily, that this week, Thanksgiving week, trading is a little stuffy. So that's what you're getting. This is a little stuffy action here in Tesla. Although there's a trend line, it doesn't want to do a whole lot. Meta's doing the same thing as well. So it's just one of those things where if you're going to pick your names to trade, I don't think Tesla or Meta are the charts to do it on, at least today. Charts may open up. Once they do, there's a trade that you can possibly make. But these charts need to be a lot cleaner for you to start making trades on a holiday shortened week. And this is another one of those charts where it's just like, yeah, you know what? No. Maybe AMD, that's a chart that's very decent to work with. And NVIDIA and some of the chip names, you're getting the movement there, but definitely not through Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more to say other than that. I mean, that's exactly what you know, the same sentiment that we've had all morning here, and that is that, you know, trade the active names, trade the names that are moving. And honestly, if you're going to trade Tesla, I mean, you can see the chart. Arun just pulled out the same chart as me. It's downside. You can draw your lines anywhere you want, but you're breaking levels every single day. So, I mean, I think Tesla's worth the trade again, breaking through 167.50. That could break. We're at 52-week lows. We've talked about that with Tesla over and over again. So I'm not excited about this trade. Keeps on. This is the 1 minute chart. I mean, you're kind of barcoding right now. That's because we have that. Let me just zoom out and get rid of that so it'll look a little bit better. But it's not too much action. But these bottoms, I mean, 167.50, like, I don't know, man. And I mean, the bottom's going to be down there, 166. But if that breaks, I think we do probably test the lower lows again. I just don't want to be in this unless there's a short. So either short it there, or for me, I think it's a better short looking at these levels here of 170. So I think if it gets back up to 170, you can look at it and then look at that 171 high. So for me, Tesla's a short. It's going to continue to be that way. We've already sort of indicated what Rivian, I didn't even realize Rivian was sub 30 today. And that's just, it's been destroyed too on a 20-minute chart. So Rivian all the way back down to some of those levels like AMD and Amazon, where we found some of those bottoms from the 9th. So, I mean, I'd stay away right now from EVs. I don't know what's going on with Tesla, to be exact, but yeah, not good. We do know that there's some China pullback there as well as COVID starts rearing its ugly head. I say that mockingly because, like, I don't think, no matter what you think about COVID, like, I don't feel like these whole viruses or anything are going anywhere. Like, people are going to get sick. And, you know, obviously, the older you are, I know there's lots of people that have lost people with COVID, and really any disease, it's bad. But, like, if that's going to be China's policy moving forward, like, you know, 1 or 2 people get sick, they shut down the city, they're shutting down plants. They had 3 people pass away, I believe, in Hong Kong. It's sad and it completely sucks, but it's hard to invest in these companies that are forced to abide by. Apple's seeing some pushback too. That's why they moved some of their assembly plants to India. It's tough. Whether or not you believe in what China's doing is right or wrong, it's just tough as an investor to sit here, especially in a name like Tesla, where they have that Shanghai Gigafactory. If they're going to get shut down, even for 3 days. I mean, we had that video, right? They're spitting out, Arun, they're spitting out a car every like 31 seconds or something out of that plant in Shanghai. So when you got to shut down for a day or two, that's production lost. And I'd hate for that to be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And I just feel like Apple, some of the big tech companies, especially the fact that you have that headwind, and then you also have that you have to repatriate your money back into a strong US dollar. It's not great for a lot of these big tech names. And Tesla, you know, is kind of leading the way with a lot of their sales internationally.
Sky News reporting, guys, Man U exploring a possible sale here. So this just happened, up 12% on that. Just halted on volatility to the upside. There was a move in this during lunch anyways. It doesn't look like much now, but there was some volume that came in on reports that Cristiano Ronaldo is also leaving Man U. And now they're going to sell the team as well, apparently. So Man U halted right now anyways. Disney, let's talk Disney here, downside today. It's down about 2% last I checked anyways. Bob Iger coming in yesterday, announcing today a whole bunch of restructuring plans already, including some cost cutting, which was interesting, talking about Disney Plus and how it's losing too much money and how he's going to deal with that a little bit. There's also some executives leaving that were a part of the previous CEO's team, I guess. But Disney, guys, ends up being a bit of a fade here.
Yeah, and I think Sean called it pretty well this morning here, that that area where we were kind of worried about was this here, is that 96 into the 97 old resistance now coming in, and we got underneath and bouncing back up after the open here and coming back into that 96.50, 97. That's where you play old resistance, which became support, which then got broken. And now you're coming back from underneath. That means they're probably going to go after this gap here to fill the gap. And I would imagine 92.50, 92 even would be the target here. So great call there on Disney. For me, it wasn't a clean enough of chart. Like, there's charts that were cleaner that I chose to go after. But if you're going to make a trade on Disney and you're trying to play this would be the way I would approach it, which is, okay, there's some previous support or previous resistance. Should be support. Oh, no, we don't get that as support. Okay, let's flip the directions and go on the short side. And I think that bounce if you're willing to short into a market that's willing to rally, then you deserve to get paid. And I think anyone who shorted Disney on that bounce got paid here as it's down at 95.31. Not for me, but definitely a trade to be made there. And now you can just pay attention to that zone in the event we go back tomorrow and see if there's another short. And maybe this market's gonna be a little bit more with a negative tone, which would help the case for a short there.
You know what I'm going to do? What's up to everybody? TTG, I see you guys taking over the chat. You know what I'm going to do? I think that I'm going to go on TTG and then tell all of our viewers to come on and get into the chat. But we do love to support from True Trading Group, man. I'm excited to have Adam on, Mike as well. I don't know, who's coming on today? Is it Mike? Okay, well, hey, Mike, what's going on, my guy? Right there. I'd love to come on your show as well, and we can show the kind of support that Trader TV Live has in this world as well. We have over 363,000 subscribers, and we just went live 2 and a bit years ago. So shout out to everybody that's been with us from day one, and shout out to our sponsor, TTG, again. Thanks a lot for keeping that going as well, and thank to everybody in the chat. But yeah, we had Disney yesterday. I don't know what TTG had. We were short yesterday, 99 on Disney. That was a fantastic trade. I always thought that this Bob Iger news is honestly like, I don't know. They lost 1.5 billion on Disney Plus. That's going to take a little bit of correction. They also came out and said that they're no longer even looking at a profitability target until 2024 for Disney Plus. So today, again, on the sticky note, all of our True Trader family, check me out at Trader TV Sean, sticky note, tons of trade ideas on there for free as well. But here we go, Disney today. This was another short that we waited for. And again, the patience on this trade hurts a little bit because we didn't get involved until we saw this pump back up to the upside, and then we're like, all right, let's short the break back down lower. So that's what we did, 96.50 break all the way down, and there's my best out. We took half out for 40 cents, the other half out there for $1. Nice downside move right there on Disney. So we actually grabbed that trade today. We don't have the very bottom, and I wish we did, but we're scalpers here. I make lots of trades. We already have over 100 fills today, so that's over different ideas and whatnot. This was a very, very simple one on Disney. Unfortunately, we don't have it early. Wasn't sure the direction of the market. This morning we talked about that. Let Disney fall, make a base, bring it back up there, then hit it short to the downside. Very, very similar to the trade that we had here on AMD earlier, where we waited for this dip on AMD, bought it up, wound up taking $1.50 there, then got out when we broke the 50 period, only to watch AMD now continue its march higher. So Disney, I like the stock. However, I'm an investor in it. I don't have any problems with the name. However, they keep disappointing on all their earnings releases. I don't think Bob Iger stepping up for Disney is really going to be the end of the world and a savior for this name. So I just look at this daily chart and say to myself, we're below the 50 period still. We got to at least get to this 102, which we almost got there, right? It's not the end of the world, Disney, but if you can get over this 102 level right here and clear a lot of this garbage out, then I think we could definitely get to 110, and then the rest is history back there. So let's see if Bob Iger can right the ship. I am ye of little faith on this one, at least until the next couple quarters. Is that it? We're done. We're done. That wrap up right there. Yeah. So, all right. So we do that every single day. We go over some names that we had earlier. We do have a completely free watch list. Maybe Brendan, if we have a little graphic for that, we can call that up because I know we have more people in our chat right now. So we have a completely free watch list right now. So Fed is speaking right now, right? So we got to watch out for some of these plays going to the upside. I'm looking to catch something long now. Airbnb, we can check out maybe Amazon. That's been a well-traded name for me today. My number one stock today, though, is going to still be Alibaba. We're still in that short, but here comes the market back up. We are still waiting for this. So we had Amazon long there, lost. Then we grabbed the bottom of Amazon, hit that out for $2.50. Now we've been playing the short, but we're shorting it off of this 93 level. So still gets a little bit of work to be done. It's at 93.90 right now. Realistically, I'm interested in this about 20 cents from here. I'm going to put some offers, looking to get short Amazon around this 93.20 level, and Alibaba trying to get excitable as well. Look at this trade. Ayo, TTG family. Look at this short that we had early. This was another name on my Twitter account that we tweeted out earlier. We had this top, right? We put this name out for you guys at about, let me find the exact tweet here. I think it was 8:30ish. We put this name out. We added it to the sticky note. So here's my account right now. I want to thank everybody. Over 37,000 followers right now. Here's the Amazon trade we talked about. Here's the Alibaba. That worked out pretty well. Here it is 5 hours ago. Just like we had Carvana yesterday. We are looking for the short sell in Alibaba. We don't even have it on yet. Look at the time here. We don't have this on yet. 9:10. We're looking for the short. We gave you the level. It's all on the sticky note. And there it is right there. Not once. Look at this. This goes instantly down $2 in 5 minutes. That was a good trade. Then not only that, but we reloaded it right there, and we still have a piece on. And I'm waiting for Alibaba to break, Arun. If we can break below the 75.60, I think we got a nice little trade here back down into the downside.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see on the board, position board, I've got nothing, right? The only position I have is still from this morning, which is the futures long back from all the way over here. So we're still carrying it. This is now 23 points and change. So when I make a final move on this, when I get out or whatever I do, I'll let you guys know. But up until that point, I'm not going to get anything else. Markets, I feel, is a little extended here. That means the stocks are a little too far from where I would want to play them. So I'm going to leave that alone. But I did notice in the chat earlier, somebody was talking or asking about, potential trade on Tesla. Yeah, okay. So let's kind of go through this. Trend line, yes. If you went long at 167.50 looking for that trade, then if you're going to play that long into this dip, then you have to use the bottom over the overnight bottom, which would be close to 165, right? So if you're playing the long off the dip, then you got to play the bottom here and then work your way out close to 170. So it's a tight trade. Would I advise it? I mean, it's, again, like I said, it's not the chart for me. But at the same time, if you're going to take it long on a dip, you've got to let it play out instead of cutting the trade early. So any sort of dip buy action, you got to take it to the other end. So what's your profit target if you go for 167.50, right? So if you are risking, if you're getting at 167.50, you're getting out at 165, that's $2.50. So can you get to 170 for a profit target? In this case, you can. So that makes sense. That's a 1-to-1 risk reward. So why not take that shot there? But if you can't, then I would price a little bit lower. But going long in a downtrend could be a tough situation for you if this market just goes sideways. And that's what Tesla is doing right now, which is going sideways. It's sitting above 168, but it is going sideways for the most part, even with the S&P up now over 1%. NASDAQ almost at 1%, but S&P is above 1% on the day. And here's Tesla, 0.21% on the day. And that's, for the most part, it's just sideways, right? We close here. We're roughly sitting a few cents above, 30 cents above where we closed yesterday. And here we are kind of just doing a whole lot of nothing. And that's not the trade for me. That's not the market for me. But if you're going to do that, you got to calculate the risk and see if you can get the other side of that. So if you're risking 250, can you get 250 before you hit the first resistance level? If the answer is yes, then there's your target. A trade could be made there at that point.
So, of course, our show is completely free, and we want to welcome everybody for joining us. We do this all day. Normally, it's Neil and I, Arun filling in today, doing a fantastic job. I mean, you have a great futures trade on. So if you're trading futures, you don't see it on the board. But what price are you long right now?
76.
Okay, so 39.76. Arun already long that name. We're short Alibaba. I had Boeing up here, but quickly I want to give a big shout out to a new member. We have $5 a month is our membership, and it's just to support the show. So I want to give a big shout out to A Normal Guy's Perspective. It's always good to have. You'd rather have a normal guy than an unnormal guy. But thank you so much for that one, for becoming a member. A lot of love to that, joining the crew upside. One level here that I want to look at before we go to True Trading Group here that's going to discuss some more names with us, a little bit of things. What about Snowflake right now? Snowflake, what's up, Snowflake? This is a decent level, 141. So that's something. Okay, I want to look at that 141 level for Snowflake, but I just got excited there. Why? Temporarily. I said as soon as 77 broke, we wanted to go short SoFi 76. So your boy is now short SoFi 76. Why, you say? Good question, Sean. Because SoFi just broke its 52-week low. So, oh man, it's too bad because where did my trades from yesterday? I don't know. I get filled today and they disappear yesterday. We had this 5 break yesterday, but look what it did all afternoon. It basically barcoded. Sometimes if I go like that and then like that, they don't show up again. But we got all of our outs are down into here, right? 484, 485. So we're able to watch out for that. So look at SoFi now. I don't expect this trade to be a huge winner. It's 52-week lows. We already know that they have some congressional issues there, looking into the student debt and all that kind of stuff. So SoFi's come under fire a little bit. I don't know if it's them particularly or just the business of student loans. That is a problem. And then SoFi, I mean, can you pick? We looked at Coinbase already. We've looked at some of these names that are really struggling to the downside. SoFi's just another one of those names, man. I mean, it was 625 last week. You're going 625 down to 476. You're cut in half, about 25 in half. You're cut 25, 30% in a week here on SoFi, and now taking out 52-week lows. So for me, even on a daily chart here, I mean, you're right at this bottom. I think this is definitely worth a look here for SoFi. And again, we draw these lines for a reason. The 200 period is right here, and this is a scalping trade, so I'm going to be here for a scalp, and I'm going to use this 200 period on a 1 minute to get out. So if we do break back above near 480, 481, something like that, I know it's just a very, very tight stop on this, but you have to understand why. Yesterday, we we broke and then did this literally all afternoon. The market was moving, SoFi wasn't. So if we can get some momentum down, great. We have the 50 period pointing this way. I think we get lower. My target out is 81.82, so that'd be about 6 or 7 cents. So let's look to take that much as our position. So we'll see if we can make 6 or 7 cents down to 470 would be really great, but we will be averaging it out as we go. My first target spot is 74. We'll try to take 2 pennies. And again, trade how many shares you have. Like if you have 1,000 shares and you make 7 cents to $70, there's nothing wrong with that. You could put that in your pocket and judge your risk accordingly. So I like SoFi for a short right now. Anything else?
No, I thought we had a guest. No.
Well, yeah, we have to hear it in our ear when we're ready for the guest. Oh, Snowflake was another one. We are ready? Yes. Fahad has said yes to us. So, all right, without any further ado, let's go over to Brennan at the big desk. I know a lot of you are here for this. So, ayo, it's guest time.
As promised, yeah. Fahad's a man of little words, but powerful ones. Mike Edward back with us from True Trading Group. Great to have him back to discuss a bit of everything we'll touch on here. Mike, great to have you back on the show. As we head into the holiday here, we head into a holiday shortened week. It's been just a wild couple of weeks for the market overall. I want to get your take, first of all, on a bit of a higher level here as we head towards what's going to be the final Fed decision coming up in a couple of weeks in December. It's looking like a half point is going to come heading into the end of the year. Give me your take, though, on how much attention we should be paying to all of these Fed speakers that continue to come through in between these meetings on a daily basis. I mean, 4 again today, is this really necessary?
I don't think so. I mean, first, thanks for having me back, Brandon, and tradertv.live. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys. I think that the Fed, this goes right back to last week when Bullard came out and made a statement and said, we're going to go to 5, maybe 7%. Total BS. I'm not buying it at all. I think that the Fed just saw, after you got a lighter than expected CPI, lighter than expected PPI on all categories, all across the board, lighter than expected. And all of a sudden, what did you see happen? Bonds jumped, yields went down. You had the biggest weekly drop in mortgage rates since 2008. Obviously, they're still very high, but a big drop in mortgage rates. Financial conditions eased. Exact opposite of what the Fed wants to see. So as soon as that happens, they marched all their members out into the public space, into the public eye, and they're like, go, talk hawkish, talk hawkish, talk hawkish, because we do not want those financial conditions to loosen. And that's exactly what's happening. I don't think that you should be paying too much attention to the words that the Fed members are saying. Some of the people speaking aren't even voting members next year. So if we're trying to talk about how far is the Fed going to raise rates, this has been a huge topic that we've discussed on our live streams. We always go live at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be talking about it again, going into kind of Jerome Powell's going to be speaking tomorrow. So I don't think that you pay much attention to everyone that's talking. It's all going to come down to that December 14th, which is interesting, Brandon, because you're going to get a CPI number on the 13th. So the Fed's going to have another round of inflation data before they make that decision in December. So that's going to be very interesting.
Wanted to get your take on this type of trading, because it's been a long time since we've been in an environment where these announcements and these kind of economic releases have become the trade, the can't miss trade. If you're any kind of a short-term trader. I mean, even next week we get GDP, we get PCE, we get non-farm payrolls on Friday. So the list goes on. And as you said, 2 weeks from now we get the Fed. So give us a rundown here on how you guys approach trading these types of news releases around, pick one. They've all been great this year.
Yeah, my biggest piece of advice that I give members and any trader that's out there is do not try to be predictive in this market, rather be reactive. Trying to predict what these data points are going to be, in my opinion, it's been a fool's game all year. I mean, you look at some of the best analysts on the street have not been able to accurately call let's use a CPI number, for example. The CPI number has always either come in hot or come in cold. It's never been kind of in line with expectations. And these are some of the best analysts on the street trying to figure out these numbers. Rather than people sit there and try to say, okay, I've got a CPI number that's coming out. Let's just say for argument's numbers coming out tomorrow, which it's not. It's coming out on the 13th. But if instead of saying, I think that number is going to be light, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy call options going into that number. It's a coin flip. You don't know what that data point is going to be. I don't know what that data point is going to be. I would much rather say to myself, I know that if this is the number, it's going to be good for the markets, meaning it's going to go upside. If this is the number, it's going to be bad for the markets, meaning it's going to play downside. And I'd rather react to that number because there is so much follow through and momentum in this market. You don't need to be the first one to the party. You don't. I think it's dangerous trying to be the first one to the party. These moves that this market makes, when it picks direction, you get follow through. So I think it's better to react to that, have a game plan either way. If it comes in hot, if it comes in cold, or whatever the data point is on a binary event like that, have a plan, react to it. Don't try to predict it.
It's great advice. And I mean, can't say it enough, especially to new traders. A lot of traders are coming into this environment, experiencing these types of moves for the first time. And we've seen, 40 on the VIX this year. We've seen, volatility across the board and liquidity dry up essentially. If you had to pick one or maybe two instruments you go to execute on that type of a trade, what would they be?
My trading, I like to keep it very simple. I'm a big component on just support and resistance zones on multiple time frames. The bigger the time frame that you see a support or resistance level, typically the more significant the level becomes. But you need to look at multiple time frames. I look at 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, daily, weekly. I use a lot of different multiple time frames to identify major support and resistance levels. And then I love volume analysis. A lot of my trading decisions are based on volume analysis, looking for, high volume breaks through specific levels, looking for low volume pullbacks and retests of specific levels. And by using those which are very simple technical indicators, I'm able to really kind of control that volatility and really slow things down and understand when you're in a more volatile market, expect levels to get tested. And people need to realize that in a volatile environment, which you are in now, you can't just say $100, that's support, and then think that $99.85 is going to be my stop loss. In a volatile environment, those levels get tested, stocks trade into them, momentum takes them down into them. You got to give these stocks a little bit more wiggle room, and that's where position size becomes very important, not oversizing in your positions. Stick to your stop losses and keep things simple. The more complex you try to make things with your indicators, I think the easier it can be for a trader to get overwhelmed, especially when price is moving around very quickly.
We've seen it's interesting that you make that point, and we've seen the attention and the focus shift from tech and growth over the past 3 to 5 years in this market to other areas of the market that haven't been doing anything over that same period of time. Going into, it's hard to say this, but going into the final month of the year already, where do we go from here? What are you going to be focused on? Not only, let's set the Fed aside, let's set the overall move of the market aside. What are you going to be focused on as far as where to find strength in this market before the end of the year?
Well, one area of the market that has been insanely strong over the last month and a half has been financials. I mean, you take a look at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. I mean, some of the best looking charts over the last month, those stocks have been trading very, very well. I think there could be some action there, but I think that you're going to get in the end of the year, I think I think fund managers are going to chase performance into the end of the year. You still have hedge fund positioning is still historically high cash positions. Funds are reporting more cash than they usually do. And I just think that if you get the Santa Claus rally and the macro move is kind of setting up for that, if you get another lighter than expected CPI number, it's going to be a shoe-in that the markets will start to climb into the end of the year. It gives you the Santa Claus rally, which is seasonal strength that you've typically seen. And I think that hedge fund managers are going to chase that performance. I don't think you can say, well, we were down 27% on the year. You got maybe a 10 or 15% bounce back, and we didn't take advantage of it. So I think a lot of that cash will find a home. And I think it's going to go into a lot of those tech names that have gotten beaten up to try to get some of those outsized moves, because that's where the volatility is. And now I don't necessarily believe those are the names that perform well next year, but I do think that there can be really good trades from an active trade standpoint, which is, what we focus on. I know you guys focus obviously on the active trading standpoint. I think there's going to be really good movement in some of the semiconductors. I mean, we've been on semiconductors long today. I mean, they're giving you some really good moves. I think that tech is going to give you really, really good action going into the end of the year for a trading perspective.
I want to get your take here. I want to make sure we get Sean in as well here. I want to get your take, though, before we do, on what to expect. Quickly, just to wrap up on my side, what to expect as far as the Fed coming up in a couple of weeks here?
I think it's 50 basis points. I think they're going to give it to you. But the CPI number on the 13th will solidify that. If you get a CPI number on the 13th that's under expectations, then it's a slam dunk 50 basis points. And what becomes more important is not the actual number that they give you, because it'll just be it'll be a 90+% likelihood of 50. You might get a little bit of an increase for a 25 basis point hike, but I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll give you 50. But if that number comes in hot, all of a sudden people will start thinking about a 75 again. I think they give you 50. What becomes more important is the language that Jerome Powell is going to use in his speech. The last time you had a Fed meeting, there was a very big discrepancy between what was in the actual statement that was published by the Fed at the 2 o'clock announcement versus what Jerome Powell actually said in his speech. People are going to want to hear from Jerome Powell a little bit of a less hawkish tone and some indication that they're going to pause. I think what happens is you get a 50 basis point hike in December, maybe 25 hike in January, and then a pause. And the Fed says, okay, we're not cutting rates, but we're going to step back. We're going to take a look, see around, see if inflation keeps coming down. And if the market sniffs out that the Fed is going to be pausing, then you have that Santa Claus rally really takes into effect. But I don't know if Jerome Powell is going to give it to him. He's been very, very hawkish, very, very purposefully the last couple of times that he's spoken. And that's why tomorrow is going to be important, because he speaks tomorrow at a conference. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does say tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, yo, Mike, apologize for this, or I'll apologize for this bang right now. Why? Because I just want to come to my screen quickly, Fod, if you can. SoFi right now. We just put this trade on. It broke 470, and it is see you later, alligator. We talked about that move into the bottom right there. So, people calling you a sniper, Mike. Thanks. We can go back to that right now. We just sniped the living you-know-what out of that one right now. So we'll spin this on you right now quickly. We got some money coming through. The True Trading Group coming through as well. So, hey, yo, Mike, how are things going, my guy?
Oh, awesome, man. Things are good, man. Glad to be back. Congrats on that trade. Very nice. I just saw that little spike there to the downside. Yeah. Good volume increase there. New lows on SoFi. Nice job, man.
It's okay. It's okay. We're trying out here. I did like the number that you brought up to our viewers there as well. I think one of the big deflationary indicators there, I think it's got swept under the rug a little bit, but that mortgage number, that was crazy. Mortgage rates, and I talked about this on the show earlier today and yesterday when I saw that come through by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. I was like, wow, the largest single decrease in 1 week in mortgage rates since 2008. So for me, that almost puts the writing right on the wall right there. If that's what's going to be the case, then I do feel that, yeah, we are going to get that 50 points. And I actually think it's blue skies ahead. I don't know if we're going to talk about cuts in 2023, but I definitely don't think we're going to be raising anytime soon. So much respect for that take there as well. All right, one name that I can't wrap my head around it, and I love what you talked about there, relative strength heading into the end of the year. I do think fund managers will chase that, and I do like the financials. But what in the world, in your opinion, is going on with Tesla? My whole thing was, I felt like, the COVID policies, I don't know if you heard what I was talking about before, but the policies there in China definitely hurting this, the zero COVID policies. I'm not a big fan of that. I think Tesla getting hurt. But on the daily chart, Tesla just keeps on, making new lows for the year. It's not a great looking name. What is your opinion on what exactly has happened here with Tesla over the last month and a half or so?
Unfortunately, I also, and Adam says hello, by the way, Sean. He told me to make sure he tells you to say hello.
Hey, what's up?
But I think with Tesla, I think unfortunately, I think a lot of people are trading with emotions right now when it comes to Tesla, which I think is something I try to teach all of our members to stay away from, allowing your emotions to kind of get in the way of your decision making. But I do think that a lot of this Twitter chaos with Elon Musk, I think it's rolling over into some sentiment with Tesla. And I think there's a bunch of things that are happening with Tesla when you take a look at, like you said, you mentioned all the issues with China. But I mean, the weakness in Tesla has really accelerated as the Twitter saga has continued to unfold. And I really do believe, although it shouldn't, but I do believe that some of that sentiment has rolled over into Tesla with what's been happening with that whole saga and Elon Musk. And I think that you're coming up to some pretty big support levels on Tesla, which are the highs from 2020. You got to go all the way back to 2020 before you had that breakout, which is going to put you right around like 150, 160 after all the splits. And that's a huge level of support for Tesla. I'll tell you right now, I'm most likely going to be adding some in my long-term portfolio if we get down to the 150s, 160s. I just think that's too big of a level for me to not grab something once you get down to those price points.
I actually have here, show my chart here, guys, if you can. I mean, this is exactly what you're talking about. Right into here, 140, 150, back to those levels of 2020. I couldn't agree more. One of my favorite opportunities was this little move here. Was it this? Yeah, this is it's 2021. It was right into here when they got added to the S&P. That was an absolutely crazy run. In just this is in a couple months. This is November. It was 136. Of course, this is all split adjusted. And then you had it up to, at the end of December, 290. Like, what a crazy, more than doubled in that period. So yeah, Tesla definitely has a lot of juice under it. So, okay, I mean, look, thanks. Shout out to Adam as well. Shout out to him. I know we connect there also on Twitter. But do you have any Twitter handles or anything, Mike? Do you want to shout out so people could follow you or anything like that?
Yeah. You guys can give me a follow on Twitter. My handle is at MikeEdward_TTG. I'm always putting out market commentary, trade ideas, analysis. You guys can go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter at MikeEdward_TTG. And then, as you guys know, we always go live on our YouTube channel at 4 p.m. So right after the close, once these guys finish up their amazing show, we're live at 4 o'clock, and I'll be breaking down kind of what my thoughts are for tomorrow, because we have a lot of catalysts tomorrow, a lot of data. You got Fed minutes, Jerome Powell's going to be speaking. You got jobless claims, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations, manufacturing, services, PMI. You have a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow. So usually with a low volume day tomorrow, I think you can get kind of an outsized move tomorrow. I actually think tomorrow might be a better trading day than people think going into the holiday with all the data that's going to be coming out. So I'll see you guys. Make sure you guys tune in for that.
Sick. So we're big sports fans here on the show as well. So what is that baseball bat there behind you? Is that a baseball bat? What's going on?
Yes, that is. That's actually a bat with my name and baseball number on it. It's from Cooperstown, actually. When I was a kid, my father took me to Cooperstown and got me a bat engraved with my name and my number. I was a baseball player my whole life. So it's a bat from Cooperstown.
Sick, great memory.
If you're a baseball fan, Sean, if you're a baseball fan, I'll show you one thing real quick. Nice. This is a birthday gift from Adam. I don't know if you guys can see who it says on there.
That doesn't say Babe Ruth.
Oh, it sure does, my friend.
What? All right, That's a bang right there. And that's awesome. And not only that, and it's one of these too.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's not a bad one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home. I have because I actually coach minor T-ball and baseball and stuff like that with my kids. I'm going to go home and I'm going to find a baseball. I'm going to try to rewatch this, get Babe Ruth's signature. I'm going to sign it and I'm going to give it to Neil tomorrow. And then he's going to be like, oh man, that's the best. But that's an awesome piece, man. Congratulations on that for sure.
Thank you.
And I want to do a big thank you to Mike Edward again from True Trading Group. Thanks for coming by. Just promise me you'll come back.
Absolutely, man. It's my pleasure. Always love talking to you guys. Big fan of Trader TV Live. You guys put on a great show. Awesome group of traders. Glad to be here. Look forward to doing it again soon.
Thank you, Mike, my guy. One last time, Ayo for True Trading
Ayo.
Group and Mike Edward. Thank you so much, my friend, and we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Not bad. Smart dude. We like those guys over there at True Trading Group. I want to give a big thank you to them, and it continued for the sponsorship, man. Very good stuff, great stuff, smart individual. And I like all that talk. I think the one important thing about trading is community. We talk about that all the time, and it's like if you can associate yourself with smarter people, people with new ideas, things like that, that's how we all win, no matter what, who you want to support, us, them, both. There's a lot of traders on here that are members of True Trading Group and like to support us as well. So I say shout out to all of y'all. Okay, new trade right now. We'll put the alert on right here, Snowflake. We were looking at that break long. I'm going to test it here. I don't love this trade. It's just we're above the 50 period. We're above the 200. I know Snowflake can go. So 140.70 right here. We're long right now at 140.65. The market is starting to rip here into the close up. You already got that great futures trade on. I'm going to assume you're still in it. Yep. Okay, so that's starting to move up to the upside as the NASDAQ goes. You're in the ES, but same way. This is up one. Remember the NASDAQ was red and the ES, like now all of a sudden they're matching. They're twinsies right now. ES up 1.2, NASDAQ up 1.1. So the NASDAQ and some of these big names like an AMD, like a Softy, we've already talked about Meta a little bit, but these names are starting to get back to the upside. So that's why I take some Snowflake, and we're already in the money, 15 pennies.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. If you're wondering why it shows nothing, because it was a rough morning for me along Netflix, along Amazon. That did not work out as tech fell off this morning, like Sean mentioned. They were negative, and now tech doing catch up here. And when we ended the morning show at 11 a.m., roughly around 11 a.m., NASDAQ was starting to make its move north of that 650 mark, right? That was the area that we kind of had to get above. If we got above, NASDAQ would join in on whether we were going to continue this range breakout. ES had already done it. NASDAQ was having trouble with it. And as we got to 11 a.m., that's where we were doing that breakout. Clearly, we were at that inflection point. We either fail one more time and we go right back down to 11.5 and change, or we actually extend. And it looks like as NASDAQ is extending, it's doing catch up now with everything that it missed out on, because S&P has been somewhat consistent here with the way it started, the way it handled its dip, and also now it's continuing its rally. It's at 1.2, I believe, right now. NASDAQ is at 1.1. And what do you have on NASDAQ that's running the table right now? NVIDIA, 3.86% to the upside. That's the big one. And that's all of it's after the open, too. So it's not even like it was an overnight move. Apple up there, the biggest weight in the NASDAQ, up 1.2%.
And the S&P.
And the S&P in the indexes, period. Apple, Microsoft, those two up over 1%, and then you have Amazon rounding at the top three. Why am I listing those names? Those are the heavy index weights. So I'm sure you guys know, if you are following futures or indexes, that they're all weighted. Each stock is given a weight. Well, at the top of the list is Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. Those have the most weight. So when those move, you're going to see that influence pop over into the futures, specifically the NASDAQ, because it's more sensitive, because the weightings are much higher in the NASDAQ than the S&P. Now, there's only 100 names in the NASDAQ versus 500 in the S&P, but still, a big chunk comes from those three names. So here we are, as Apple and Microsoft going to the upside. Amazon's up, barely up, 0.38%, and then following through with NVIDIA, Tesla. Tesla's having a rough day, but it's making its 1% move. You know, the Tesla chart wasn't the greatest, but now it's starting to make a late day move as we crack through 4K, and now at 4,005. So this position now up 30 points on what's left of it. So we started here, got some out here, got some more out here, and now we're carrying the rest, and that's it. I'm not doing anything else. I already told you guys, it's a holiday shortened week. I wasn't expecting, even this I wasn't expecting, but I'll take the money, but I'm not gonna put any more risk on the table because I'm not expecting a whole lot in terms of volatility. So I do feel like it'll be a little bit calmer, at least towards the close, than you would normally expect on a day that's up 1 and change. But we'll see how this goes. We still have a ton to get through. We've got the Fed minutes tomorrow. They talked about it earlier. Fed minutes, a bunch of speakers, right?
Yep.
And then we also have the day before a holiday. So that should bring some activity in the end. So keep tomorrow, if you're looking for action, I would imagine 12 p.m. or even 1 p.m. onwards into the close is where you're probably going to get your action from in terms of volatility for tomorrow. But this definitely opens the door for some interesting action above 4K.
Guys, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and I just want to clarify something. You know, Trader TV Live is not associated with True Trading Group. They do sponsor us, so we had Mike come on, and it's completely up to you guys. They do have a show after us at 4 p.m. It's a paid service. You guys can go check them out if you want, but we try to associate ourselves, you know, with really smart individuals, and, you know, just listening to Mike there, you know, I don't know, I mean, you know, me, you, and Neil, Brendan, Prad, I think we do a pretty decent job. Those guys are there as well, so you guys can go check them out for sure. Meanwhile, hit the alarm right now, and I don't know. I don't even have a negative. So I do have one negative stock today, and it's Microsoft. But look what I've traded today. And again, I don't know. But AMD positive, Amazon positive, Alibaba positive, Disney positive. I actually even traded that grayscale product over there on the ping sheets. I can show you GBTC. That's positive today. We just took Snowflake. Like, we just took this trade. Boom, 25 cents right there, and we're looking for more on Snowflake. So I think the proof is in the pudding when you're gonna talk about traders and sort of the damage that we can put onto the market. You guys know what's good. I'm here, we're here, everybody's here, and I wanna thank all of you for being part of this team as we continue to grow. And I just wanna get, I wanna get to 500,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? And I want to associate with the best people we possibly can. So a big shout out to True Trading Group for coming through again, Adam and Mike. I'm sure there's more of them, but those are the two that I know. Shout out to True Trading Group for your support and continued support. And we'd love to have Mike back on. But what a great day to trade again here today. Oh, the one thing I meant to talk to Mike about, and he is 100% right on this, and that was, you guys remember the trading, and the guys behind us know this because they're trading on CPI as well. You don't have to have that very first take. I remember the moves continued almost every single, I'm saying almost, I think it's every single time that the Fed came out with that, well, the Fed doesn't come out with it, but when the CPI came out and it's higher or lower than expected, the market continued with those moves to the love of 5, 6, 7% on the NASDAQ. So if you do miss that first 2 or 3% bump up, don't worry about it. I really, really like that advice of maybe being flat or small in a position before that comes out. And then as soon as you see the headline number and maybe it's at a level that you like, then you can hammer in, because there's been great follow through. So make sure you join us, of course, on the 13th. We will be live earlier than 8:30 that day to catch the CPI number. We promise to do that for you every single time, especially in the next year or so, as CPI is going to be super, super important. We're going to spin this. Money, 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 money. Thank you for the kind words there, by the way. Our show is the real deal. I really love that. And I am very, very passionate, I don't know if you can tell, about everything that we do here. So I take everything to heart. So I do want to say thank you so much for that. And it's part of, see, I'm already getting choked up a little bit, which I shouldn't be. Why am I getting choked up? It's just it's part of my Italian blood, honestly. Ask my wife, sometimes I won't start bawling out of control. I mean, I'm not like that, but definitely emotions. I wear them on my sleeve, and I think that's definitely helped with the show and helping with trading as well. Get excited when stuff is there, but then you got to be a little bit leveled, obviously, because this market is a wild ride, man. Every single day is a wild one. I just missed getting filled at 61 there. At 60. So now I'm trying everything. I'm even on some dark pools here at 61. I want to get some fills here for SoFi. Thank you for the nice words there, Darwin and everybody else, calling this entry absolutely perfect on SoFi. I'm going to go bang on that one. I cannot, honestly, I'm going to punch a little bit more out here at 63 right there. I just paid the piper. Actually ran into a half print there, I think. No, we got 63 flat. Wish we would have ran into a half print. But let's just see what now happens. We talked about that breaking the 52-week low, and then boom goes the dynamite right there to the downside. SoFi automatically there. This is what I mean. It doesn't take that much. Sometimes I don't really slip up. Sometimes when I tell you the account size that I'm trading, it's on purpose. It's just you have the ability here, especially when you're on a prop firm, and I've heard Prad talk about this as well, and that is to take the risk associated with the trade, right? So we have top line and bottom line numbers, and if my shutdown is $2,000. Well, then I'm not going to put on that much risk in one individual trade where I can lose that full $2,000 in one trade, right? So we have to manage risk here. I think it's one of the best things that I've done. And I've been trading for over 20 years here under this platform. So I am very used to risk management. The last time I got shut down, I can't remember. So that's, and honestly, like, oh yeah, that's right. I lost $10 million one day on a bad, good job there, Brankles. And Brankles in the building, by the way. Yeah, I did lose $10 million on that day, which was corrected to only losing. Actually, the funny thing is, I'll have to check my net. I think we actually made on that day. And what happened there was, and again, I didn't lose $10 million. So don't worry about that, or else I don't think I'd be here. I'd be swimming with fish, I think, at some point, if that was the case. But maybe that's my Italian side coming out again. Again, Luca would know about that. Where's Luca? Oh, Luca's not in the building today. Anyways, no, the spread opened up and we had some dark pool prints that didn't actually hit the market there. But no, what I'm getting at is that you have to trade within your own parameters.
Yep.
And I know for the futures as well, obviously your shutdown is extended as well, because when there's a trade that's put on, you want to make sure that you have the right amount of contracts, that, you know, a couple ticks up doesn't stop you out. You know, you got to make sure that you're trading within your own zone. So that was a very long-winded explanation there, but I really feel that that's what's important. So when you're looking at a SoFi trader like this one here on Snowflake, that is now, by the way, Snowflake, 50 cents now in the money. Like, we just took this trade. There it goes to the upside. So you got to be proper. Like, there's no way I'm taking 5,000 shares of Snowflake. Could I? Yes, my account could do that. But would I do that right now? No, because I'm not sure that if this comes down, that I really want to lose $5,000 on this trade. So, you know, it's a nice little upside move. Trade your own book and trade your own risk. And now off to the man, the myth, the legend, Arun.
Yeah, somebody was wondering, it's like, why am I not doing anything? Am I shut down? No, it's just that I've chosen to stick with the
Quite
futures.
the opposite.
And I'm sticking with the futures, and the futures positions don't show up we don't have them showing up on the screen there. So I do have a position, it's just not on the board. It's the futures trade. And like unfortunately, I'm gonna have to keep coming back to this because everyone's wondering why I'm flat. And then I was like, well, technically I'm not flat, I'm just flat on the screen because I don't have any equity positions. Future side, yes, we've still got this trade from here. You see these green arrows? Yeah, those are a couple entries there. Yeah, it kind of went against us at the beginning, but that comes with trading. And not everything's going to work out immediately as soon as you get in. I mean, the market's going to do what it wants to do, but hey, it held up well, got some out when we got it to 90, got some more out here. There's another green arrow. I know you guys can't really see it with the red bar there, but there's another arrow there, a red arrow, I mean, down here in front of 95, and now we're above 4,000. And I'm just trailing the rest of this. So no, I'm not completely flat, but yes, I don't have any more equity positions. After the Amazon and the Netflix hits, I just focused on the S&P, and then I got myself to futures, so I stuck with that. Stick with what works, right? If you know where you tend to make your money, I would focus on that. If you're having, you know, if the market's having its own little funny day with the tech market kind of falling apart this morning and then coming back in. So I stuck with the futures here, and that's what we're rolling with. Brendan.
A little one just popping up here, not just popping up, but halted, resumed, back to the downside here, MRTX. Apparently some takeover chatter floating around on this one.
Some talk there. If you go back to Arun's screen, I can talk when Arun's screen is up, if you could do that. No, people said, what the hell happened to you on Netflix? Because they see your bottom trade there.
Yeah.
And that was the quickest.
Yeah, that was a quick. If you're looking for bad timing, yeah, there you go. Got in, and I think it was a couple minutes later, it just fell
Wasn't
apart.
that literally at like 9:31 or something like that? Or was it?
I can look at the time. It was before 9:30 though.
Oh, before 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so
9:25.
9:25. Wow, you really got.
I got in with the imbalance, and the imbalance, I guess,
you got
was not
aggressive
good.
there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at me. I'm on with the Rune screen. This is good. Look at Lucas, man. See, Fahad, this guy, Lucas is making the big power moves over there. I like that. But no, what I was getting at with that trade is that's something that I've learned as an equity trader, and I know for futures it obviously is a little bit different because you won't have flashes like that unless there's news specific. Futures flash. That's true, but that can happen real quick. So that's why on some of my Amazon trades today and AMD trades, we waited for that move to happen, because so many times I've been a victim of that, almost that exact same kind of setup there, where you're in the pre-market, then all of a sudden either the imbalances or something changes there, and it's like, uh-oh, like we're railroaded and there's absolutely nothing you can do. You did good to get out where you did. I mean, it felt like another $3 or something there.
Oh, yeah.
To the downside.
I mean, to be fair, I already had an exit for this. That's the thing, right? When I get in, I talked about this earlier, when I get in, I already have a target in mind. I also have an exit point in mind, right? So when Netflix started falling apart, mind you, I was also long on the futures. I also was long on Amazon. So all of them started falling apart. Obviously, tech was having a much worse start to the day than the S&P did. So when the futures fell off, it fell off a little bit later. So tech was instant. I mean, like we got to this point, we were just falling straight down. So all these positions got hit first. So Amazon and Netflix got hit first. And that's when I realized, okay, it's gonna be a relative, that's how I kind of adjust, right? Relative weakness in tech. Okay, if it's relative weakness in tech and I'm still thinking it's a long, then I probably shouldn't be playing tech. So I took the hit, well, obviously took the hits, and then walked away and then started trading PG, which is this one here. And I held on to it as long as I possibly could, but then it's like, no action. PG should have been strong, and it got nothing done. So, I took my 2 or 3 cents on PG and just walked away and be like, you know what, that's my day. It's going to be a quiet day. I would expect it to be a quiet day given the day it is, and then just focus on the futures. And that's what I chose to do. And obviously for you guys, it's not as exciting. But if money is not exciting, then I don't know what else to do, because that's all I care about at the end of the day. If it's 1 trade or if it's 10 trades, I will make as many trades as necessary to make the money. And in my case, I trade a lot slower than I guess on the show, and especially definitely compared to Sean, I trade a lot slower. So for me, 1 trade is all I need. In this case, it's 1 trade. I may need 2, maybe 3, but I don't need a ton of them. So I'm okay with trading like this. And at the end of the day, we're here to make money, right? However you approach it, you approach it that way. Whatever personality you have, you're gonna find an approach that should fit that personality. I'm a patient guy. I can be okay holding on to this trade. Mind you, I can actually give you guys the time this trade started on the futures. It was 8:57 this morning is when I started these longs. So 8:57 here, and then I got some more at 9:15. And here we are at 3:20 in the afternoon. I'm still carrying some. That's just my approach to trading. It makes money, and I'm going to keep doing it. I know it's not exciting, but hey, I mean, if you guys see me on and I have equity positions, great. If not, if I have futures positions,
we know what we need to do.
What's that?
We probably need to fix it so like we could put your positions on
the futures.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's too long of a thing. We got to do that, especially if you're going to come on a little bit more. We'll see about doing that if we're able to. We haven't been able to, so we might not be able to do that. But I want to give a big shout out to Arun. Thank you so much again for filling in today. It's been such a good day to trade. I do want to just bring you one more trade here, and honestly, guys, like this is 70 cents in the money. Like we just put Snowflake on, right there breaking. I mean, now it's 70 cents. We only have a third left. You can see we've been getting out on that one. Snowflake, nice little upside move right back to day's high. Like we absolutely destroyed this. So let's hit the siren for Snowflake. A beautiful trade to the upside. Now 75 cents in the money. We just shout out to everybody behind. Hopefully some of the guys behind me have this on too. This just broke. Like it's now $1. This is 10 minutes ago. Snowflake long. Big time movement to the upside. Now $1 now in the money if it takes us 41.50. So good trade there. I want to say a big shout out to, I always say this, man, you can always ask us. No one ever does. I don't know why. But you can always ask us, what's up to Ruchit here? I'll call you up here, Ruchit Patel. Where are you? There you are right there. Sean, how many fills today? Okay. Too many. 196 fills today. But I have, less than that. 120 fills on that because I did trade some pink sheets, and I'll show you those on grayscale in a minute. And then am I up on the day here? I'll give you a couple guesses. Let's just review the trades I've had today to see if we're going to be up. Okay, so here's AMD. We'll just do it on a 1 minute chart. Here's AMD long. Okay, so that's good trade. Here's Amazon. That was a problem early. We lost 40 cents. There's the long, there's the 40 cents back, there's the $2, and here's a bunch of shorts. So that's that question answered right there. Here's Alibaba short. Short, out. Anything purple are shorts. Out, we're still in Alibaba. That's still $1 in the money. Disney. Here's the short on Disney. These are all the trades I made today. You can see at the bottom. Disney in, there's the outs for Disney. That's good. Grayscale is going to look a little bit crazy. We did trade that. There was a big move in Grayscale that happened earlier. This is going to look nuts, but short, 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 short there and out. Long down here, that's what these red ones are. Long down here and out on the upside. Short again there and out. So you could guess there, that's a winning trade. You can guess this Microsoft if you want. These are shorts out, blown out. Microsoft is a losing trade for me today. The one loser that we have on board, Snowflake, one and done. That's a good one. And then you guys have seen me on SoFi, which is all of a sudden shot up. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've traded 8 names today, one loser. Thank you for asking. But today we barbecue up steak. So that's the kind of day that we're having. It's been a good one. I saw you got some focaccia bread there from Italy.
Yeah, so
I like it.
I don't make it to the office much, but when I do come down, we have an Italy spot just up the street. And my wife is a huge fan of the focaccia there.
Yes, yes.
So every time I come in, she's like, can you go to Italy and grab a focaccia? I'm like, yes. So yes, I can. Once a week, I try to do it if I'm ever down here. So especially now with you guys taking days off going into the end of the year, I'll probably be down here at least once a week.
I think so. I don't think you're here next week or...
I'm here next week on Tuesday for
me.
Neil.
No, me.
For you.
Actually, what am I talking about? I have Tuesday off.
So yeah, so I'm here, and then it's pretty much at least once a week until the end of the year. As different people take time off, and I think there's 1 week where you're taking 2 days, and then Neil's taking 2 days.
Yeah,
anyways, I'll be here more often as we get into the end of the year, especially starting in December. So that's why, focaccia there. And somebody was asking futures, how am I going to manage the futures? At this point, with the trend going, let the trend go. I mean, it manages itself. It's at 325. 25 minutes until we get the imbalances. What does that mean when we get to imbalances? This ties into another question what somebody was asking, is do the imbalances move the market? And the answer to that is it depends. If the imbalances are large enough and the stock has done less volume, then yes. If an imbalance is large but the stock has done like 50 million shares, let's just, for example, say, and this may happen today with Apple, with the tech market finally doing catch up here. Apple, 37 million shares on the day. Is a million share imbalance going to move Apple? Probably not. It's not going to make a difference. Would a 10 million share imbalance move Apple? Yeah, that's a third of the day's volume. They're going to have to deal with that in some fashion, and I don't think they can handle 10 million. So it all depends on how large the imbalance is relative to how much volume the stock has done and whether the books can handle it or not. And the way you would take a look at imbalances, and this is for us, is the imbalance locator. So at 350, the North American data feeds send over their imbalance information for the day. So across the board, New York, NASDAQ, and then TSX also comes in as well. And they send in the information. It's just for us, it's put like this. You have the symbol on one side, the direction of the imbalance, and the size of the imbalance. In this case, I also have something called paired value. So how much of the imbalance has already been matched? And then you can ignore the other two there. So imbalances, when you want to close out the day, let's just say I'm carrying, instead of the futures position, I'm carrying a SPY position, right? And I want to get out on the official closing price of the SPY, right? If you go on a website, on Yahoo or wherever, and you look at the previous day's close, there's a specific price there. Well, that price is calculated based on the on-close orders that are sent into the market. Well, the on-close orders are all tagged. And if you add up all the orders that are tagged, those numbers, or the size of those orders that are tagged, all get put into the imbalance, and that's what the imbalance is. So one side may have more volume to do on the official closing price than the other side, and so you have an imbalance. And then in this case from this morning, this is all old data from this morning, RLX had a sell-side imbalance of 861,000 shares, and they had to deal with that on the opening price. Now you're going to get the exact opposite for the closing price. 350 is the release, 355 is the floor update, and once you get the floor update, well, that's from the floor brokers who represent their clients and whatnot. And if they want to participate as well, they put in their information, that gets updated at 355. So from 350, you get one number, and at 355, that number gets updated. I mean, it's live updates anyways, but at 355 is when it really changes. And if the number's still there after 355, then you're going to start to see some pressure. So it's got to make its way through 350. Then it's got to make its way through 355. And if it's still big enough relative to the day's volume on a thin stock or on a stock as a whole, then you might see some pressure on that name going into the end of the day. So a lot of things have to fall into place for that to happen. But on normal days, typically it doesn't. But indexing days, end of the month, you might see some unusual activity there. And unless there's like index action for specific like stocks getting bought out, so one's getting added in, the other one's getting deleted, something like that. So there's a lot that can happen, but more often than not, on a quiet day on a Tuesday, unless there's something crazy. I mean, NVIDIA's up 4%. You might see an imbalance on NVIDIA. Apple, a big name in the top of the indexes. I know last time we were here, or I was here, Apple had an imbalance and you were long in that one there.
Something there, yeah.
Stuff like that might happen, but it's got to all happen at 350. So stay tuned. We're almost there. And this market's still going up. So I'm going to hold on to see what these imbalances look like, see this futures position. And at that point, if it's a positive imbalance, I'm going to carry it right till 4 o'clock. If it's a negative imbalance, I might walk away from this. Probably not going to get any help towards the end. So we'll just call it a day, take the 30-point winner and on the rest of this, and then walk away from that.
Just a 30-point winner on the futures. Bang. Thanks, Arun.
Oh, wait. I got Lucas to set this up.
Oh.
You want futures. This is what happened. Lucas, can we get can you get my chart up there? On my screen? Entry, exit. What do I call that? There you go, guys.
That's a pew.
It's been a while since we had that one running, but there you go. That's the only trade I needed on the day, and that's what we got. We'll take it to the end. Hopefully this market keeps going up because, you know, trends are nice, and that makes more money, and it's easy to make money when stock's trending, and you've already got it.
I like that. Yeah, sniper, good job there. And again, like we could sniper, I mean, you could sniper out SoFi today, you could sniper out AMD. Lots of ways to skin a cat for sure. How about, you know, the sniper for this I mean, I'm not going to steal your stuff, but right there, Snowflake right there, now up. I mean, this is a very similar trade, right? If you took, like I said, I don't know, if you take 1,000 shares here, you're in the money now, $1,000. So there it is, huge move to the upside. We just put this on $1.10 in the money right now for Snowflake. I want to answer a quick question. If you are new to the show, thank you for coming. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe. That's all that we ask for. But we are trading actual physical stock. So when Arun's talking about the futures, he's trading the physical futures contract, not the micros or anything like that. He's trading the S&P, I think, right? You're not the micros today.
No, I'm on the ESs, and I think people get confused because when Prad's on, he does the MES.
Right, that's what I wanted
to
confirm.
No, when I trade, I'm on the ES contract, which is the minis, not the micros.
Right, exactly. So same type of thing. The movement's exactly the same, but you're going to have to double or triple your share size, your contract size there. And then Neil and I we will only trade. We do have Forex here. We don't trade that on the show. We probably should do that a little bit more, look at Forex. Maybe we'll do that in the new year. We'll talk about doing that a little bit more. But all the shares that we trade are physical shares. There's no CFDs here or anything like that. We're physically trading in the market, and we have to be flat at 4 o'clock. So at the end of every single day, like this Snowflake has to come out, everything needs to come out. So when they do, come off, that is the trade that we have, and we don't hold anything. Holy crap, right now overnight here. So why did we take this Snowflake trade? I mean, it's 3:30. We got more room to go here. So again, I talked to you about this. The momentum to the market was upside. We know we like Snowflake because why? We like Palantir as well. I like big data. We've seen the NASDAQ sort of climb upside now. Snowflake was down about 1% when we took this trade. You're now up nicely. And then it just broke this afternoon level. I'm sure there's lots of stock that kind of look like this. I mean, the futures also look like this. So there's the futures breaking the level. So even if Arun wanted to snipe again, I mean, you could have taken long at the end of the day, or sorry, at that break right there into the end of the day. But again, nice little trade there for Snowflake. Let's see about getting out. You're right back into this level, so that's 141.50. That's $1 in the money there if I take it out if we fall back. But like Arun, I think this is a good trade to hold into the close. We'll see what the market. Oh, Brendan normally has an update for us there. Boo. He did give it to us. I wish I didn't see it, but it's okay. It's 68 million. Arun to buy.
Exciting.
So that's a very, very exciting number. For me, I tend to get excited, and you could talk a little bit about this, but we've already done it. So, it has to be at least $1 billion or something when it comes out to move the market. You indicated a little bit there about Apple and about the weighting and stuff like that. When Apple did come out that one day, it was 1.3 million, 3 3.4 million, something like that to buy. So, you know, it needs to be a little bit bigger for me to be influenced by it. So that's that. Let's just talk about some of the trades that we have on board right now. So Alibaba, this is a name that we could probably just get away from pretty soon. It's made a nice move back up to the upside. Alibaba right now, $76, and looking like it wants to fall a little bit from there. So there it is, 76.05. We are short this name, right? So I'm going to, I am going to respect that level right there and get out if we take out 76.05. So that'll be a level that we get out on Alibaba. If it does take that top out, we're gonna get out of Alibaba. Other than that, we're gonna let it continue to fall down. So that's that trade. SoFi, we're already out of SoFi. So honestly, we took a decent position there on that break. We got this huge move down, and then it's just boom, 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 boom. Not super accurate with our outs, but when they started falling out, we just started taking some more. My best outs are 61 there. So we'll look, I mean, again, if it breaks back above the 68, 69 level, actually, you know what? Let's hold the rest till 70. So due to the position sizing here, we only have less than 20% of this stock left on board in case we do get a move here into the close. So those are basically my three positions: Snowflake, SoFi, and Alibaba. And until we get that number, which is still 17 minutes away, I probably won't do too much more. Coinbase. Wow, Coinbase with a nice move to the upside as well. I don't know, do you guys like it? Put it in the chat. I was off there last week and I was thinking about it, and I was watching the show, and I was looking back at some of my trades, and you can see we have more stuff happening here. Thanks, Lucas, for all that, coming through with some of these different views here on the camera angles. And it's like I'm looking up here and I'm looking at 20 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, dailies. And I just thought to myself, why not show the rest of this to all of you guys? So I brought sort of the layout down. You guys remember I used to only have my minute chart, and then I was sort of had to scramble to show you everything. But this is what I'm doing now, and it's been really working for me. Being able just to look at a little bit higher levels and then sort of, coordinate with it all together. So that's what's been working for me. It's been a big success. And I don't know, do you guys like seeing a little bit more data and me talking a little bit more like that? Put it in the chat. But that's what I've been doing, and it's been really working out for me. Like I said, right now, I'm at the highest spot I've been at all day, and it's really working out. So I want to thank everybody for watching one more time.
Yep, highest spot. With the market going the way it is, it's probably going to get a little bit better as it keeps going into these imbalances. Hopefully these imbalances are bigger than 68 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the early look. I'm not even sure how Financial Juice gets that number. I don't know if it's from the floor or if it's posted on the big board or something. But anyways, apparently it's 68 million as of right now. But keep in mind, that's just a static number. But behind the scenes, the number is always changing because people are always sending and submitting and canceling orders, right, for these imbalances. So that early look isn't always going to be perfectly accurate when we get right up to the close, right up to the release at 350. It's just like when stocks are halted and we're like, oh, it's projected to open at this price, and then all of a sudden, right, the few seconds before it opens, it actually shoots up quite a bit, something like that. So I would just wait it out. At this point, 15 minutes more left before we get these imbalances. Stock market, as the market as a whole, you see the trend line, right? I mean, like, you can even draw a trend line. At what point do we actually break this trend? And this is not, like, today is done, right? If you weren't in today early, you probably didn't catch a whole lot. You probably had, like Sean said, you probably had a couple opportunities. So you had either this dip this morning, if you wanted to play this, or the secondary move here at 90.92. Since then, this is gone. But what I would do is I would look at this chart and be like, what can I do with this now and set it up for tomorrow? I'm always looking at this late in the day. I'm always looking up what can I do for tomorrow, because this has got to open up something, because I got to trade. Market's open tomorrow. We got some news coming out tomorrow. There's got to be something to work with. Now we're above 4,000. Where can I potentially find some support? That's what I'm looking for right now. I think 75, remember that 75 level? We kind of went long above initially. Now that we're above 90, I think we can start using that 75 as support as well. So any sort of dip down could be an option to consider buying some more here tomorrow. So I'm just laying out the levels that I want to work with in the event that we make a move to the downside tomorrow. If we move to the upside, well, I'm going to have to come in tomorrow morning and figure out where the resistance levels are to the upside. Before now, it does look like market wants to take a look at 40.10. That'll be a nice win if it continues going. So we'll see if it accelerates here and we do like a melt up situation into the end, into these imbalances. It would help the longs definitely, and the trend has been pretty strong today, so can't ignore that. And NASDAQ started the day negative when the S&P was positive, but by 0.5% or 0.4%, NASDAQ was negative. Now, NASDAQ has done catch up and has passed it. Now it's at 1.29%, beating the S&P by 0.1, and the S&P is at 1.24, so barely beating the S&P. But it is more positive now. So tech has done a full catch up on the day after starting off rough. Here we go to the upside, and we'll see if tech is going to extend this rally to the upside after these imbalances.
Yeah, we just tweeted this. Yeah, good look there. I mean, hopefully the imbalances are going to be a positive one for us here today. All of my trades are just way off right now. Like I cannot honestly. Like I remember the one day I had an $11 or was it $18 or something winner on Snowflake. That was on earnings. But wow, Snowflake, like now almost $2. It actually went $2 in the money almost anyways. It went $1.80 there in the money on this Snowflake take. So let's see if this can extend upside, man. If we can get a 143.50, that would be insane right now for Snowflake. So a big move to the downside, or sorry, to the upside breaking on Snowflake. What's up, Brendo?
Just going through a relative volume and relative strength list here. This one, top of that right now, Dell, guys, we mentioned in the pre-market, day highs coming in right now for Dell, up 7%. We're almost back. Remember we were talking in the pre-market, this thing was all the way back down here. And I mentioned this huge move that happened after market yesterday. We're right back to those levels right now.
On Dell? Damn.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. That was earnings, right, Brendan? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm surprised that we looked at that. Remember I talked about Michael Dell taking this name private and then bringing it back public. I mean, let's just see, what has Dell been doing this year? I don't know why I ignored this so much here today. I know why. Damage done pretty much everywhere else. What? I have to find out about this move. 115 down to, reverse split. Oh no, split, I guess, 2-1 maybe. 110 down to 55, okay, that makes sense. Let me just double check this on my e-signal chart because.
Nope, maybe. How far back?
Yeah, that's right. It's this move right here. There's no, it was in here. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
There's no 110, so this is already split. So yeah, okay, so Dell did do that. Yeah, good little name here for Dell. To me, I don't know if I would have looked at it today. It doesn't really look like it's breaking out of anything here. We do have a bottom though. I mean, that bottom of 42, I guess, right there could have been into play. So we could check out that. What did 42 look like today? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, 42. So the problem is, if you took 42 the first time, it went all the way back down, but you'd have to take that rate at 930. But then the second break, and then there's the hold of 42 again. Okay, so I think we'll do the same thing tomorrow. We'll look to see if Dell wants to hold 42. But yeah, good little trade there at the end of the day here for DELL, if anyone was able to get that. Good look on that one for Dell for the long. I don't know, man. Snow keeps going up, and SoFi is doing not much. We did punch out a little bit more of SoFi here at 64, but now it's starting to go back up. My out's at 70. Just going to double check. Ooh, I actually don't have the out at 70. I have to get that there right now. So I just want to, let me just talk quickly about this before we go. We have 10 minutes until the imbalances. I was just thinking, holding this, I have 18% left. So I think a break of 70 and we'll just get out of Snowflake. Looks like it's broken it before. Let's give it to 72. Sorry, SoFi. We'll get out of this one if it takes 72. But we've already gotten, we got decent pieces out here. So all these are pretty much equal. So nice outs down here in the low 60s. Was not expecting that. Remember what we talked about risk to reward? And someone in the chat was, I think it was you, maybe Frank or someone, it was like, do you think SoFi risk to reward was about 1-to-1. So when we shorted that here, our out was, remember, it was going to be 81. So we're about a 5 cents worth of risk. Well, we were in the money 15. So we went 3-to-1 R to R. So we were able to take that profit out. Thanks to Lucas, we just got this in here. So I don't know what you guys think. It's not. So here's a little bit of a tip for everybody. It's not really going to matter what you vote for. So because I know the producer wants light, I'm going to vote for light. But right there, light versus dark on the chart. So we'll see where this goes. Right now, only 155 votes. But right now, dark is winning. Because I know when you have your charts up, and it's fine, you have dark. And some people are saying they don't like your charts. Some people are saying they preferred it. So, again, being a show of the people, let's put it out to the people and see what they like. So thanks for that. We'll see where the votes come in. We just thought that when we were building this show for the first time, we had lesser quality cameras. I feel like lesser quality everything. So the dark was a little bit blurry. So I wasn't sure. We changed over to white for the viewers. So it's not for us, it's not for me, it's not for Neil. Most people have trained and know dark charts. So that's, I could see that maybe why you guys might like that. So try to be as honest as you can. Don't talk about it which you prefer for your own. It's for the show. So it's like, what do you like on the show, dark? Or I'm not going to change mine because if I do, it's going to change everything on here. So it's just a matter of like Arun has the dark charts up. I have the light charts. So tell us how you think for the show, for viewership of the show. I sacrificed. Neil and I both went back to white because we thought it was better for the viewers.
Lucas, can you get my screen up? I'm just curious how this looks. It looks fine. You guys can get over it. I'm not changing the chart. It's staying dark.
Oh, you don't have to change your chart.
There's nothing wrong with the dark chart. And the reason I say this too, and I feel like a lot of people are in the chat with this too, it's the eye strain. Think about it. You're staring at the screen for 6.5 hours. You really want to stare at a white chart.
Where am I? Here they are.
Like you have 4 screens and you want all of them to be white. Like just blinding you? No, that's not gonna.
No wonder why Neil and I can't.
This is how I make money, and this is how I keep my eyes perfectly fine. So if you guys don't like the black charts, I don't know, figure it out.
I went to the
optometrist
the other day.
I'm sticking with the dark chart. Yeah, exactly. I mean, your eyes are gonna like. Listen, I've had eye strain, and as a trader, last thing you want to do is not be able to stare at the screen.
But they said besides being an old man, my eyes were actually pretty decent.
Oh, there you go. Or you can rock this. That'll look good.
Can you really rock these though? I don't know. I don't know if rocking these gunners are the appropriate thing to do.
Now you know what you gotta undo.
I feel like I'm Luke.
You gotta undo one more button and pop the cigar.
Yeah, pop and get the chest hairs going out there. Yeah. Oh, someone said something funny in the chat. They said Leisure Suit Luca takes a lot of days off. So I don't know. I like that name, Leisure Suit Luca. I love that name. I think because it's one day on the show he was basically wearing like an Italian version of a leisure suit. He had like I think he had like on the Kappa and everything like that. Shout out to Woodbridge if you're from the GTA. All right, I feel like we have more work to do here. What's up, Brendo?
That's the best name ever. That's great. Comcast, guys, just popping out. We have a crazy wick on this chart, but you'll get the picture. 2%. Comcast, apparently some layoffs coming, some cost cutting coming for this one, CMCSA.
CMCSA. Oh,
Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast. Yeah, I remember Comcast.
They were trying to get bought
used to
out.
have multiple share classes. I think in the NASDAQ or something. It was just with CMCSA and CMCSB. Was it? I don't know. It was something weird.
They might have different classes of shares.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading the chat there about the charts there. So let me see what the voting is right here.
Where's that?
It's actually not bad. I thought more people would have preferred
60-40?
dark. Remember, this is not. I don't know what the question is. I already answered it. But light or dark charts? No, it should be preferable on the show. So that's okay. It's fine, but that's why I want people to say what they would rather see on the show. It's not preferable for you guys. It's for we put it on for you on the show. So that's what we're trying to get at. So thank you for all the answers again as you go. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get long Meta, obviously. Oops. META, NASDAQ, there it is right now. So we tried to get long Meta. Well, we didn't try that hard. We were trying to get long Meta down here at $100. Sorry, at 110.20 where VWAP was. Arun talked about this when it was at these levels. Both him and I agreed that this was not a great long here at 110.50. Obviously, the market's gone up, but that doesn't mean that that's a trade that I missed. To play with these levels in here, middle of the range, no. It either had to come down into here to get long. I think Arun sort of talked about maybe at the end of the lower, near the bottom of the day. For me, I was just going to try this VWAP trade, but never came in. Meta continues to work to the upside, up that 1.22%. So that's going to be a good trade to go. And look what's happening right now.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, we are riding the bull.
Oh, that's a new one. Damn.
It's not actually a new one, but I do like that.
I haven't seen that one
you haven't
before.
seen it again. Let's do it again. I like the bull. The bull's really cool, but I don't know what the hell I'm wearing in that. I don't know. You see? Let me one more time. Oops. I'm wearing the same thing there. Yeah, it's down to Nashville.
You guys have been putting in some work with these animations. Wow, I haven't seen some of these before.
Yeah, that one is super old, and we actually haven't been putting in work, and that's a very, very sore spot with me.
Oh, okay.
So don't ever bring that, no, just joking, don't ever bring that up again. No, we are looking for, and I did a call out, we did have a viewer, shout out to Trader Dell. He is going to help us out here as well, and Justin is working with somebody else to get some more out there, only because I think we need a refresh. And I think that goes to your point right there. You thought that one was cool because you never saw it before.
We don't need a refresh on that
Oh,
one. That one's sticking around.
You like that? No, but I think we could do something better than that. I know you like it, but maybe like a advanced pew.
I don't know.
Not like a church pew or anything.
I mean, it's...
as we go.
We'll
Okay,
see, we'll see.
We're going to get some more there, but yeah, sensitive subject for me. But there it is right now. Snowflake, we said, what about 143 and change? I'm wondering, do we just get out of this? It's $2 in the money and still ripping higher. So good one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how cool. Good call on that one. Big chungas there. Chungas there. He had a good point. How cool would it be if there was one of you throwing a slipper?
Oh,
Then
no.
every time Brad opened his mouth,
no.
basically, you could throw the slipper there.
Oh, no.
That would be dangerous, right? See, now you're starting to like that. So I like that idea as well. Thanks for that shout out. Okay, we're only 2 minutes away. Look, I'm going to put my stop here, honestly. The imbalances have gone sour for me a couple times. So I'm going to go right here at 142.20. So if this breaks back down below 142.20, I am going to get out. I just don't need these imbalances to get sour on me. So I'm going to cancel my stop order. I hear the boys behind me getting excited for something. 142, what did I just say there? 142.20 break. We're out with only a minute until imbalances.
Yeah, a minute and change, and this market, it does not want to back down. So this is a house of cards at this point because no one's taken profit, volume's been thin, trending to the upside, and we're waiting for these imbalances. So if these imbalances do not come out positive, I think we can, just kind of break the bank to the downside or just fall apart here because, no one's taking profit. Like on a day like this where no one's taking profit and the rally is still going at its day highs with the imbalances coming out soon, yeah, there's a lot to be done here. So these imbalances better be positive, even if it's that 68 million buy. Was it 68 million buy? Whatever it was, even if it's that number, as long as it's positive, I think we'll be fine. If you come out with a minus 400, minus 500, 600, it could become a problem. It's not that big of a sell imbalance, but at the same time, you don't want to see that to the sell side after a day where the markets are up 1.3%. So strong moves to the upside. We'll keep this imbalance locator right here. And let me do some filtering so we don't see some other stuff. There we go, get rid of ARCA. And this, you're gonna see this update here in about 5 seconds. And you're gonna see the market react to this if Apple and some of the big names. Positive, there you go. Market breaks through 10 to the upside, all the way to 12. What do we have? Ooh, these are the big ones. BBD to the sell side, ITUB to the sell side, 10 million shares. This is weird. This is, BBD is that Bombardier?
No.
No, it's Brazilian.
Banco.
It's a Brazilian bank.
I was going to say, Bombardier, we had that on
this
there the other day.
This is all Brazilian, though. BBD, ITUB, and Vail. They're all, and ABEV. So there must be a BOVESPA, or B3, as they call it now.
It could just be oil-related. Oil's been kind of going a little bit crazy here.
This is a bank, too, though. No, there's got to be some sort of B3 indexing event. That's why there's something going on here. I'll look into it.
Good call on that one for sure, man.
Apple's there, though.
Yeah, Apple's there. No, the market's starting to go back up to the upside. So Apple's here as a buy, Amazon's as a buy, Comcast as a buy, Google as a buy. NASDAQ is definitely buy side here into the close, man. Congratulations, anybody. Congratulations, Arun, for your long in the futures as well. Always nice when that works out. Definitely shout out to you for that one. Great trade on there. A couple snipers here. I love hosting the show with Neil, man, but honestly, I feel like, I'm not going to ask people in the chat, but this has been such a great show. We always get a lot of love every time you're on. So thank you so much for that. And here's the imbalances on the side. Just look what happens. Apple, we don't have that bad wick. Amazon not really moving. Let me check what happened. There's Google. I like Google. There it is, Google. Let's see if that moving to the upside as well. Load. Yeah, no, actually coming back down in right now, Google. So sometimes these don't work. These work in very strange ways. Look what's happening right now. I feel like this is it, man. We snipered it out as well on this one. The apes in the building right there. Ape Nation, look at this trade on Snowflake. We got So today, AMD was more than $1, Amazon was more than $1, Alibaba was $2 and change, Disney was $2 and change, Microsoft we lost on, Snowflake right now is approaching $3. So we got some big winners on the equity side today, man, including names that we don't always trade, like this one right here on Snowflake. But I am not going to hesitate to take a little bit of this out if we can here at 18 or. No, we just missed it. Maybe I need to punch out of this one before this gets too out of hand. There it is. We are now out of Snowflake right there. Great for me. Oh man, that winning trade means I got to pay taxes now on this. Oh no, what did I just do? Right there, but shout out to Canada there. Nice little move to the upside. Oh, and then it just goes back up. So I think we got 05s or something there as we cross down, but still a good trade for me on that one. And we'll end our Snowflake like boom. Good one to the upside right there. Closing Snowflake now at 143.10. If you're following me at Twitter, I posted this on already at TraderTV. Sean, let's just end everything else right now. SoFi, again, those imbalances came out. We just got the rest out right here. Some at 66s, some at 67s, and that's where we are. Do I have a 65 print? No, 66 and 67 there. Out on SoFi, we're almost flat on that one. And then honestly, some of these Chinese names, like in Alibaba, like in NEO, they don't do much in the afternoon. I was hoping we would break lower. Unfortunately, we pay the piper on this one, and we only have to take out a paltry 50 cents on this trade. So again, $2 early right there for Alibaba. Now we'll take out about 50 cents and take this one out as we get ready to close the day. And thanks, Arun, for showing up. You're here for me on Tuesday, like you said. So join Arun and Neil back here on Tuesday.
Yeah, apparently the amounts were 2.8 billion. So we're looking at the billions to the buy side. Big buy. So that's why you saw that pop. The market came back down. These, so I looked into it. Why are these names here, these big imbalances here, specifically out of BOVESPA? Well, apparently their MSCI is doing their semi-annual index review, and a lot of the names that are going to be moved around next at the end of the month, well, November 30th, which is next Wednesday, a lot of them are coming through the or B3 market, which is BOVESPA. So they're trying to get some of this done before we even get to November 30th, is why these imbalances are getting unusually large here in BOVESPA, specifically the ADRs coming out of Brazil. So a lot of big names, a lot of big trades that need to be done next week. They're taking care of some business starting this week, apparently, with a shortened week going into November 30th. So I'm going to expect BBD, ITUB, Vail, and ABEV all to disappear after we get to the 355 update, I imagine. At least BBD to shrink to a point where it's like 1 or 2 million from 13. Apple's at 716 and change. We'll see what happens at 355. Remember, 355 is the next update on balances. We'll see how this one goes. Right before we go to Brendan and earnings, let me just see what the changes are at 355. Here we go. And BBD stayed. Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one.
Isn't it a penny stock?
It's going to disappear by the time we get to 4 o'clock, but it stayed past 355, interestingly. All right, Brendan, what's up with earnings?
Just quickly, there's this cure that's going crazy into the close here. They got FDA approval that was announced a few minutes back, but up 8% here, trying to get to day highs for this one on an FDA nod, guys. So there you go. More retail to come heading into tomorrow, and Deere as well.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good job there as we look. Some good trading behind us. Yep, okay, good. All right, so yeah, into the close. Deere tomorrow, I think that's going to be a good one. We have Nordstrom's. We've talked a little bit about Gap and the run-up. That Gap is up 50% in a month, so that's gapping higher. Was that any good?
Huh?
No, you missed it. Okay.
Oh.
And then we
Sorry,
have
I was getting out of my
Nordstrom's.
futures position.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I said Gap was gapping.
Oh,
up.
Gap.
Yeah, it was a really
nice.
It's a really lame joke. Anyways. Oh man, there you go. I just wanted to put another 50 cents in the swear jar there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a swear word. I don't know. But again, I want to thank Bears vs. Bulls today. What a good show, or what a great job moderating for us there today. Let me just check back. Where did Snowflake go? Did I make a mistake? No, we did pretty good there. Same levels there. We did get out of our Alibaba. Let's see where that is. That's fallen back a little bit. We got out at 13s as that's come back in. And yeah, so far so good here today. We're going to end the day at our highest spot. Oh, I wanted to quickly note, because because Brendan just put this in. And again, if you are joining us for the first time, please follow me on Twitter for sure. You can get a hold of me. I did answer some tweets this morning even, and some people DM'd me back and were like, oh my God, I can't believe you answered me. But hey, we'll try to do it the best we can, even when we are live on the show. This is yesterday. Look, Disney short sell. Oh no, this is today. Zoom. Sorry, Disney short sell Zoom. This is what I want to show you. ANF long. We talked about a good report today. Look what ANF did. I don't have it on because it didn't fill it up, but look at ANF all day today. Pretty much ending the day at the highest spot of the day. We called this long. Ooh, what? I missed. Oh, this is right when we went off the air. Oh man, there it is right there, that 21 long. We should have had that. So 21 Savage right there. We could have had that long into 22. Oh, darn it. Closing the day at 23. I honestly don't think I was here. It was right at 11. Should have stayed there. I canceled the orders when we go off the air. To sometimes fill up a coffee, whatever, do our thing. But good little long there for Abercrombie to end the day. Let's just see what Disney did. This is another name that I want to be short tomorrow. Good. When I see this kind of a move back up for Disney, good. Because this is right where we shorted it before. So hopefully Disney will be in this area tomorrow. And where Neil and we're also going to do some football picks into tomorrow as well. For Thursday, my guess is Neil's going to pick the Bills, so we'll see. But we're going to do spread base and some props, so that should be a lot of fun. And then I'm off on Friday, but Prad's going to be with Neil in the morning show, so that should be a lot of fun. Oh, I didn't tell you this. I think I should. I just see Justin now, and I think I should be borrowing Justin on Friday. You know what we're doing, Justin? What are we doing on Friday? Well, hopefully you're not going to be doing it with me, but you can see by the way this man looks. I'm cutting my own Christmas tree. So we're going out to a Christmas tree farm on Friday with the kids. They're going to skip the half day of school on that one. And then we're going to go up north and cut our own tree. Have you done that before?
Not recently.
But you have done it before.
Last Viking raid we did.
Viking rig. This guy's too much. We love Justin. Thank you, Justin. I wonder if Justin's Justin's had a few handles. It was Justin the marketing guy. I think it was Justin the technology guy. And now, just the marketing guy? Oh, it's always marketing, but you always came with a technology piece anyways, it feels like. Tech related stocks and stuff like that. And now he's growth manager. Or brand fixer. Fix our brand, man. Fix the brand. Fixer-upper. All right. So that should be a lot of fun there. Have you ever cut your own Christmas tree there?
No, I've never cut my tree.
Yeah, so I'm getting ready to rock and
experience.
roll. I hope I don't disappoint. I don't know if the kids are expecting me to grab like one of those and just start chopping or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're expecting.
I know what they're expecting. The funny thing is we watch Christmas Vacation, National Lampoons, and Chevy Chase takes his family. It's the craziest scene ever because they go like, I don't know where, it's like they travel, it's like it's light when they start, it's dark when they finish, and I'm hoping that my kids aren't expecting anything too crazy like that one, but we are gonna do that at a tree farm, not a random forest. So here we go, with only 5 seconds, let's go guys. 3, 2, 1, let's ring that bell. And cancel some of my stop orders that I had in there that did not fill. Thank you, Justin. Again, always a big thank you to Arun. What a great show. What a great way to end again. Thanks, Justin, for that. And I see on the chat, we did switch. I used to have fake trees, and then honestly, we went to real, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I'm just waiting for that flying squirrel to attack. So I'm gonna, you cut the tree. That was in the movie.
That's a lot of work, man.
It is a lot of work. And the thing about it is, too, I got to strap it onto the Atlas on the roof there.
Oh, man. That seems like a lot of work. Why can't you just take it out of a box
I'm debating
and put it
just
up?
going to Home Depot after all this and just grab one of those trees. But we're trying to make it for the kids.
Is this the first time?
For doing that, yeah.
It'll be also probably your last time.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Oh, but I didn't. So I was also a volunteer for Scouts Canada. So when my kids were in Scouts, every year we had a tree fundraiser. And of course, they drop the trees off, a farm drops the trees off, and they have the stubs. You have to still cut the stubs. So there was one, so I volunteered, and I think the shift that I had was like the worst shift. It was like 9 a.m. to like 11 a.m. or something, where everybody's going out to get trees. you know? So anyways, I feel like I was there with this saw like this, sawing off, because you got to take off about an inch and a half, 2 inches
Right.
off the bottom so the water can get into it.
Okay.
So I was there sawing and sawing and sawing. I must have done like 100 trees or something that day, which was crazy, but it was good because I got a massage when I got home. So I played that angle off pretty well. And trust me, it worked out just fine.
Is there something against, like, if you're doing that many trees, would you not bring out like an automatic?
You would think so.
Like not a chainsaw. Chainsaw, I'm sure there's.
No,
yeah,
a chainsaw would be fine.
Yeah, okay.
A
Something
chainsaw
smaller
would
than
be
a chainsaw.
fine.
Chainsaw's pretty
But we
big.
had little like they were beavers, so they weren't even scouts. They're little guys. So I don't know. I had them helping me and stuff like that. But trust me, man, like a 5-year-old's and 6-year-old's arms, they ain't getting through those trees. But okay, Brendan, are you a fake or real tree kind of guy?
Real. I was going to say, Sean, you can just go to Home Depot and they're wrapped up nicely.
Shut up, Brendan.
They don't even get your car dirty on the way home. It's just slides right in the back, no problem with it.
Trust me, I know.
He wants to live for the experience, and he's going to regret it when
the kids are only young
actually does
once,
it.
and you're going to hear me when I come back on Monday or whatever day it is. I'm going to be complaining about a sore shoulder. So, all right, how did the markets end up?
Yeah, quickly, here we go, guys. Nice green board to show you to wrap up the day. 1+% right across the entire thing. 136 there for the S&P, 1.18 down here. 1.36, 1.5 for the composite and the 100. NASDAQ leading the way, guys. Good to see.
You know what? I do have a Sawzall. So I see that on there, Sawzall, where you just get the little battery-powered one. I could, but then I don't want to be that guy, you know?
Why? Why not? Why can't you be the guy?
Because it's like, I'm trying to like portray an image. You know what I mean? Like if I go there with my kids and I just whip out a saw.
Do you have an axe?
Yeah, I have an axe.
Like an actual axe and not like
yeah,
a hatchet?
I have an axe and I have an actual saw.
Okay.
I have everything.
All right.
You know?
So, I mean, you should video this.
Wait, I built my own fence and everything in my house.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do it with an axe, you should
Italian.
actually video tape it.
Yeah, I'll
and
get
put it on
Marissa
Twitter
to
and
do that.
whatnot.
I'll get Marissa to do that.
Okay.
This is going to be bad, man. I hope
This is
the
gonna be
tree-
interesting, to
I
say
hope
the
this
least.
works out, but stay tuned on my social. Follow me on Instagram. I'm sure we'll put that up there at some point. I think I'll be fine. The reason is that I think the tree farm actually provides you with the equipment.
Do they?
I'm actually most worried. I just need somebody to tie it on the car because I feel like I'll bring those bungee ropes and stuff.
How far out of the
Now
city
that
are you
Brendan's
going?
got me all scared about that, I think it's going to go on the
How
roof.
far out of the city are you going? Like,
I think we're taking the 400.
Oh no.
Like I think.
Halfway through, he finds out he loses his tree. Imagine that. And then he's got to drive all the way back again. Oh, boy.
All right, well, I'm back here
There's so
tomorrow.
many things that can go wrong, but let us know. Let us know how this all turns out.
It'll be all good. I mean, we shouldn't joke about trees flying off cars on highways.
No.
I mean, honestly, that could be a little damaging. Okay, thank you for joining us. I want to give a big shout out to Arun. Thanks for coming by with your futures trading there and some of the explanations about different styles of trading and whatnot. This is my best day in November. Well, is it? It's close to my best day in November, so I'm really happy with the trading day. I want to shout out True Trading Group as well for joining. What's up to Mike and what's up to Adam from True Trading Group. Thanks so much for showing up, and thanks, Brendan. That was a great interview as well. And thanks for some of that breaking news. Interesting story there about Meta, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things happening today, a lot of things tomorrow as well, guys. We're going to get more Fed officials coming through again tomorrow. So the parade continues.
Yes. You are 100% right, Jada Jazz. It is ratchet straps. That's my bad. They're not bungee cords. They have the little strap
Bungee
there.
cords? Oh no.
No, I used the wrong terminology. Oh, that'd be hilarious if bungee cords, and the tree would definitely
You're going to
be
get
flying
home
up.
and there's going to be no needles
Oh, man,
left.
it's gonna
It'll
be
just
bad.
be the
My kids are going to be like, where's the tree? What happened, Dad? All right, let's see that. Okay, before we go, I just want to see the results of this poll. It is a dark chart kind of world right now. 63-37. Sorry to disappoint everybody. They will be light tomorrow. But thank you for voting. And for everybody watching, thanks again for doing that. We continue to break records. Keep hitting the like. Keep hitting the subscribe. You've now found the best trading show on YouTube. So for everyone here and for my guy Arun, thank you for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao, guys.